Here we go once again on a Wednesday evening, the Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio. Welcome to the show. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio, the very proud host of Outlaw Radio, which is a foundational Black American platform. People ask me, you got a podcast? Yeah. What y'all talk about? Black people shit. That's what we talk about. If it is pertinent, important, relevant, applicable, whatever you want to call it, connected to, in regards to foundational Black Americans, we're going to talk about it on this show. That's the point. I'm one of those individuals who believes that people talk about us more than they talk to us. I think that kind of explains why so many stereotypes are, taken on and accepted as truth. But tonight is, like I said, we're on Mondays and Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Normally on Mondays it's Messy Monday. It's Outlaw Radio Live. We're just kind of putting everything out there that has happened since we were last on. Wednesday is more thematic. So tonight's show is Politicks as usual. Politicks as usual. Always events, always something very important going on in our city in terms of the leadership or the political structure. And we talk about the budget that our mayor's pushed for approval that he's putting out here. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some political things in terms of misbehavior by politicians, not politicians, politicians. Some people say it's par for the course. Politics is just something that's just, I don't know, for whatever reason, it can be incredibly divisive. And I think a lot of times the big picture tells us that money controls politics. So that's pretty much why you see a lot of, you ever really look at a candidate that's in office and you say, well, how is this the person who was voted in? Like, this person is so obviously flawed or so obviously limited. It comes down to the money. Who was his or her backers, constituents? So yeah, politics as usual tonight. We're always political on my show. I think a lot of times people don't rock with Outlaw Radio in some capacities because it may not be messy enough, and that's why I just kind of let Monday slide into Messy Monday, so you can get a little ratchetness, and that's part of the puzzle. That's part of what we like. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to be preached at. Nobody wants to be scolded. Black people, you make us smile, you make us think, you make us feel, you give us some enlightenment. We're entertained but it takes all of that to entertain Black people. We're a very different kind of audience. At least those of us who are delineated are. Listen, we have a phone number. The phone number to the show is 262-202-5131. If you know about Outlaw Radio, you know the phones crack. I also have a chat room. The chat room gets it in like no other, right? And so right now, E walks in the chat room early. Let me put him up. He walked the great out in Arizona. He said, word to Big Bird. Share the show. Man, I try to make this show interactive. And all I ask is that people respect the platform. Like, it's not one of those situations where you just have to agree with everything I say, or like one of the homies used to say back in the days, I can't stand to be in a situation where everybody's saying, I want to piggyback off what he said. I respect individuality and independent thinkers. Just respect the platform, first of all, and then respect our intelligence. Like, you call in and you're going to say some like silly, seriously dumb shit. I'm probably going to call you on it. Oh, you cut me off. You wouldn't let me talk. This is true. This is true. So let's go, man. Outlaw Radio on a Monday night, man. How y'all feeling out there? Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, then the weekend comes. These weeks go by fast. I got a birthday coming up. I got an anniversary coming up, all kinds of stuff. My daughter's birthday is in December, so the end of the year comes fast. The older you get, the faster it go. So what's going on with y'all, man? How your week going so far? Hope everybody's safe. Please feel free to call in to the show and add to the conversation, right? And share the show. That's another thing we ask, is that you share the show, right? Share it in the groups that you're in that are relevant. Of course, know where you're putting it, but share the show. I shout out to the people who I can go through my Facebook feed and I can see that you share the show. I'm always appreciative of that. And a lot of times when I don't feel like doing this shit, that's the thing that makes me say, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and do one tonight, because I know it's people who want to hear it. So to start off talking about politics as usual, we think about what politics actually is. And some people, I know that this is not a civics class, because I'm not about to give you the executive branch and all this kind of talk. I'm really just going to talk to you about the methodology of politicians more often than not, especially when they're dealing with us. Because you hear all these misnomers that Black people are stuck on this fictional democratic plantation, right? That Black people are that, like, we're short-sighted. We only want people who are going to give us welfare, people who are going to let us be ignorant. There's no conservatism in us, in our communities. We don't care about violence. We don't care about the school system failing us. We don't care about the misappropriation of funds that have been allocated for the betterment of our community going elsewhere. We really don't care about politics. We just want to smoke our weed, drink our liquor, twerk, have as many babies as we can out there. All these misnomers about the Black community. So a lot of times when the political parties, Democratic and Republican, try to come together or amongst themselves to talk about how are we going to get the minority vote. And I also want to say this about the minority vote. Please, please, please don't ever, ever underestimate the strength of the minority vote. It's hotly debated. It's highly discussed. We have a large portion of our culture, people in our culture, that believe there's no merit in voting. I don't believe that to be factual. I've even heard my partner Dion say we shouldn't use our vote to leverage, for leverage. We shouldn't use it as a bargaining chip. And I'm like, well, what else is it for? Now, I want to say this about this whole democratic plantation thing. Yes, 86% plus people voted democratically. There's reasons behind that. But you got to understand that our voter turnout is not that high. So it's a smaller number, and you're going to say, well, 86% of the people who did voted democratically. But you got a whole other group of people, a small percentage we saw in this Trump election, that voted Republican, voted for Trump. Smaller group, but still relevant nonetheless. And then you have this whole wide range of us who didn't vote. Maybe it's because you have a felon, maybe because you're a felon, or maybe it's because, you don't take enough time, you don't invest enough knowledge into even know who's running or what their platforms are. And there's some of us who are in survival mode who it just don't register. It's like, nah, man, I don't really care, because the common thread is they're going to do what they want to do anyways. I'm one of those people who thinks we should vote, and not only vote. I believe that it's very important that we should hold politicians or people who we put in positions accountable for what they do. I think we should do that. And I also think we should be willing to change our minds as to who's our favorite based on how they feel about us. I'm talking to foundational Black Americans. Whether you know it or not, you probably are one. Different conversation. Go to the chat room. I see you, Courtney, in the chat room. Feel free to jump on whenever you want. She said, we have 3 years left with Trump now, Kev. Whoa. Woo. Yeah. Listen, we did a show before. We did a show when he first got elected. It was called Buyer's Remorse. And it was about that theory when you purchase something from the store and you probably shouldn't have purchased it, or maybe you thought you should, that you needed it, and you got home and you realized it wasn't what you thought it was, or you shouldn't have done it. Like, it's like, I regret this. Buyer beware. So whatever amount of time legally we have, and I ain't talking about him destroying structure so that he can stay in office for 15 years. Well, if we got 3 more years left, America has to suck it up, because America, we're the people. and I didn't vote for him, but the rest of the country, obviously enough to elect him. This is what you voted for. This is who you picked. And you knew he had been president before. We knew. And so many of us were saying it. We got hung up on a hang up. Kamala ain't black. She was. Then you had people who were saying she was a district attorney and she locked black people up. And I'm not, listen, whatever your theory is your theory. But the reality is, if she's the district attorney, one of her jobs is to lock people up who commit crimes. Now, did she have a truck riding around that said Negroes on the side? She was just throwing people in jail for nothing. I don't think that's the case. I know there was a slippage on her part when a young brother was killed by the police and she didn't stand in for the family like she should have. But to me, I would have preferred her than the president we have currently. Erica Hunt in the chat room. What up, Outlaws? How you doing, Erica? Welcome to the show. Y'all share the show. Share the show. Get in with me. Outlaw Radio. Politicks as usual. Like even here, even in our city, like we can look now at our leadership, and I have to keep it so real. At one point, I was actually very, very optimistic. I was happy. And we go back about 6 years, maybe 4, when we brought in all these black elected officials, the superintendent of the schools, the police chief, the sheriff, the mayor, the county executive, the city attorney. It went on and on and on. What was they calling it? The Black Seven. Okay, the Black Seven. All right. I don't know which hand. I don't know which one I'm doing. And there was optimism. We thought, okay, and since we're 44% of this city, anyways, we thought, hey man, it's about to go down. But I have to say, I'm so disappointed. Some maybe 4 or 5 years later, in those leaders, the school superintendent, that fell. They're still failing. The judgment's still out on the county executive. I don't think. Shout out to DC. I think DC's doing what he can, and I think he's moving in the right direction. Our mayors, I don't even understand. I don't understand how. I mean, obviously he's an intelligent brother, but in terms of really leading this city to where it should be, I'm a little confused. I don't understand. He doesn't speak with enough fire to inspire me as a voter. Of course, with the police chief, it's ridiculous. And then we go to the sheriff department. It's kind of like it's a mess. So I don't know that these black leaders, and some people will say, I'd rather have a black person in office fucking up as opposed to a white person. I kind of wish for the best for black people. So if I see a black leader, I'm clapping my hands saying, God damn, about time. Now we finna show y'all how this shit's done. And that's not what we've seen. So once again, you have a group of people in this city, because voter turnout in Milwaukee can be very paltry. And you have mostly older people who vote. Let's be honest. Those early 20-somethings, those Gen Xers, and I'm talking about black people, once they hit 18, taking that civic responsibility and all that, that's not who votes. One of the things that hurts black candidates in Milwaukee is because when they're on the street, when they're in public, everybody, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. They on WNOV and whatnot. Yeah, oh, I love you. Yeah, yeah. But they don't vote for you. They'll sign your petition, and then the elections happen. You like, I got my ass kicked. What happened to the people who go vote for me? So, that once again, there's a large population of people who have been here for a while, who are into that mindset of, I'm not gonna vote because they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Oh man,
as unpopular as it is, as far as Dion saying we shouldn't use our at least it's unpopular on here, shouldn't use our votes as a bargaining chip. There are a lot of black people who agree with that. They'll tell you, man, I ain't that shit, man. I mean, I got homeboys who I know got love for me, who I've known for a very long time, that'll tell me, Kev, you always been talking that politics shit, man. I'm be honest with you, cuz I don't really care about that shit, man. I'm out here trying to get this money. Not understanding that these leaders have a direct connection to how you getting your money and how easy it is for you to get some money and what you're going to have to do with it once you get it in terms of paying taxes and having permits and zoning and all this kind of shit. You want to start a business, you got to start thinking about all this. So politics are very muddy in the city. We're going to talk about this city budget in a second. Ace Cooley says the problem is they go in with good intentions, but there are hurdles that's put in their way. Also, as you know, most black politicians are not allowed to do anything specifically for black people. That's very true. But to say they go in with good intentions, I think a lot of times they understand their limitations. I think a lot of times after them playing the political game for a minute, in order to get to the level of running for mayor, you had to be a vet in the game, or it helps you to be a vet in the game. So you already know what your limitations is from day one. It just becomes a situation where you say, listen, I'm not just going to sit here and get pennies on the dollar while I see other people elevate by playing the game and really become successful. So I don't know that they go in with good intentions. I think they go in with intentions. It's called an agenda, maybe. Maybe sometimes you get a person who's, because you got to be very naive to run for any political office nowadays with a good old boy mentality, like this is the 1950s, because we got this thing called the internet. You're going to see everything you need to see on the internet. So I don't know that they go in with good intentions. Which doctor, I see you with us. I seen you giving your boo some sugar. I don't know if I didn't know when to bring you in or not. I didn't want to interrupt y'all moment.
Man, he was long-winded already. I had nothing to do with none of that.
I had already started. You was late. I was already going. I didn't know you was coming.
You was in your conversation. I ain't slow you down.
No, you didn't. We just all seen it. Like, okay, love and hip hop, right? What's happening there?
Hey.
All right. I said I had no problem with it. I said, oh, okay. Like, okay.
Hey, I tell you, it's better that than alone, boy. I tell you.
Shit. I don't even talk about that. God damn.
I feel better with a companion.
Hey, I'd rather see you kissing her than kissing him. Let's put it like that. I'm at least you ain't trying to bring that flavor to the show. Like, accept me for who I am. I'm the witch doctor. You know what I'm saying? No, it's all good, man. Yeah, I had to give you some shit. What's popping with you tonight, man? How you doing?
Oh, nothing much, man. I just had to mute it right quick. But yeah, man, not much, man. Just living, man. Sorry I'm late to the show, everybody. But I'm here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't where you're from, it's where you're at.
Right. To be here is a good thing, right? As opposed to he ain't gonna make it tonight.
Right. Him gone.
Right. But no, I'm just in the name of the show is Politicks as usual, because I think the more people do, the more they show. That's why we say when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. I'm looking at the city budget. I want to talk about the budget, the 2026 city budget. This is the Politicks part of this, because they're going to tell you one thing at a certain point, tell you something different at a certain point, and then you tell you something different at another point. So all of this hooping and hollering about, I saved Milwaukee from a fiscal cliff. I passed these sweeping tax reforms, and come to find out that Milwaukee still has a $100 million shortage. Budgetarily, there's still $100 million needed. And before I even get into the other specifics of the budget, I just want to say this. You got to give Outlaw Radio credit, because since that Act 12 tax hike was passed and they came out and said we generated $200 million, we have been discussing since that 90% of that went to pension plans. And the other 10% went to the Fire and Police Commission. Now they're also fighting for a raise on their own. Their union is fighting for a raise, right? But there's money. You got 10% of the 200 million.
Oh, man.
So and even in his budget, there is what is it? 10%. What is it? They got a raise. They're trying to give them, I think, an 8% raise. And there's also Another increase on the property tax levy. I keep telling y'all, pay attention to how they utilize the property tax levy. Now, this is more increases, and there's more to come. If you're saying there's $100 million that you're short, so there's more increases, tax increases to come. Now, you've raised sales taxes. You gave that money away. And guess what I seen in the Journal Sentinel today? Now there's people downtown raising fuss about, hey, we used that $200 million wrong, Kamar. I just sat back and laughed. I said, what? I've been saying, how long have we been saying that? How long have I been talking about how stupid it is for 90% of $200 million to go to pension plans? Have the nuts and the guts to get some attorneys involved and cap this shit. Why are you still, well, no, cap it. You can't tell me that this is the unpassable law. This is the untouchable policy. A team of lawyers can get some shit done, right? 90%, what we did the math, what's 90% of 200 million? What is that? 170, 180 million? So now you got aldermen raising fuss. I'm like, wait, this shit went through months ago. This was announced months ago. And on top of that, now you're talking about, well, I'm doing what I can to keep the cost down. Yeah, but you also have been patting yourself on the back. I'm talking about the mayor, about how well you did in saving our city from a fiscal cliff. Now, what you want now is an increase. $22 million out of this budget is going to go to snow and garbage removal. They're raising the driver's license registration $10. Like I said, and there will be a 3% pronounced increase in the property tax levy. And we already know that the city of Milwaukee is way foul with their assessments on your property when it comes time to property taxes. So you're going to get people who already have inflated property taxes that are increasing 3% more. When the county got in trouble, what did they do? Property tax levy. I see no economic development plan. Sorry for yelling. I don't want to get excited too early. Okay.
That is the plan.
You're gonna raise the cost of living, but where are all these new investments in our county or in Milwaukee? Where are they placed? They're placed in the surrounding suburbs. They're placed on the outskirts. You have no economic development plan for the city of Milwaukee. I don't want you to bring, shout out to anybody who gets a grant or any kind of assistance from a government program for their business. We don't need you to bring that. We need you to bring higher wages and more tenable jobs so that you can do that on your own. I don't need no grant if I got a job making X amount of money and I can save. You're not able to save with a lot of these jobs. So once again, it's Politicks, because you just came out last week and I knew the bullshit was coming when you start talking about how much safer you made the streets and how crime has gone down. Well, in a trailer that we see multiple fatal car accidents from high speeds. We see 2 15-year-old girls murdered on the street. The murder hasn't stopped. You don't even have a plan for the neighborhood takeovers. Now they're saying they're going to give $500 tickets to everybody who watching. Instead of making the goddamn police patrol to the point where this shit can't happen, they organize them on social media. Well, it's 2025. Why don't y'all have somebody watching social media? What, y'all ain't got the internet? What the fuck?
Let somebody say Charlie Kirk.
Oh,
they catch that right away. They right up on top of it.
Right. And all of these things are done that's what I'm saying. The mayor, I try my best because he is a brother and I'm a foundational Black American. I try my best to look for the silver lining. I'm like, he's gonna do something. I know let me listen to what he's saying, because it got to be something in there. And I'm sad to say it's all bullshit. You are ushering in, by you keep increasing the property tax levy, the cost of what it costs to live in the city. You are saying to gentrification, hey, y'all, come on. Because pretty soon in a city where you bring no economic development, the people aren't going to be able to afford to stay there. That's life 101. And in situations like that, how do you expect to address any crime? Because you are creating more and more poor people every day systematically. You manufacture poverty in this city by having us isolated and ostracized. There's some things we need to do in order to get ourselves in the game more. I ain't gonna take that off us. But goddamn, usually every organization is top down, meaning shit roll downhill. So if the leadership on some bullshit, the people on some bullshit. So it's politics, man. It's politics. And I can. The funny part is they keep doing it. They keep doing it, making these false moves and these pump fakes. And it's like, we see it, bruh. You telling us that it's gotten safer to drive on these streets when I'm driving down the street and this car's turned over and parts on your bump outs. Your bump outs look beat down. People are running into them shits, Kamar. Whole goddamn auto parts store in the goddamn center lane while I'm driving down the street. Like, damn.
Let's also note they doing that shit without being chased by the police too.
With or without.
Right.
So you double
confused. It's crazy. I think it's crazy how it's an argument about chasing these kids or chasing whoever it is, and it's how we arguing about that. But then we ain't holding the police accountable either. Like they committing crimes before they even get chased. You motherfuckers need to be catching them before they doing some other shit.
Some of their crimes is just the chase because they flying down the goddamn street, so you jump on their ass. They're
in a stolen car too. Usually.
Right. So the crime is already committed.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a crime in progress, right? This is happening in real time.
It's crazy how they got us. I'm just saying, it's crazy how they got us arguing over this shit. When really that shit's in their hands to figure it out.
Well, what they're showing is that they're confused. Like I said, shit rolls downhill. So if they confused, the people damn sure confused. Because half of us saying, chase them, half of us saying, no, stop chasing them. And half of us saying, fuck it, it is what it is.
And it's crazy because see, we saying the shit for the same reasons. We saying don't chase them because they killing people. And then we saying chase them because they killing people.
Right on. Like he said, right on, brother. Ace Cooley said it's also about where you going, cuz. It ain't what you say ain't where you from, it's where you at. He said it's also where you going. That's a question you gotta ask yourself though. Where am I going? I don't know if you ever walked in the kitchen and forgot why you walked in there. What the fuck I come in? Maybe that's some old people shit. Mama Jenkins said, good evening, my Outlaw family. The budget, what about the lawsuits? We already got a wheel tax. Yeah, because you know what? The county and the city is doing this to us right now. Sock it to my pocket. Sock it to my pocket. Because to be honest with you, white people got a good thing going here. They have a good thing going here, man. They're on the verge of being able to come back and take back over the most prime real estate that they ran from a long time ago. This shit by this expressway, by this lakefront, by this downtown, all of the cultural shit that's important is in Milwaukee. Let it be. Don't let it ever get twisted, right? You might want to go out to one of these suburbs and be like, oh, this is where the Crusher statue is. Nobody cares about that shit. They want to go downtown and enjoy the lakefront and enjoy the river and the boardwalk and see all these historic buildings and the old breweries. They still selling money, making money off tours to take you in the caves where they was making where the beer was stored hundreds of years ago. So yeah, they finna take this shit back. Erica says, hold them both accountable. I think we do, and that's what Kamar just said. This why listening is key to our show. This is what he just said. He said, we're all saying it for the same reason. People saying don't chase them because it's killing people, and people saying chase them because they killing people. So on one hand, it's the people who just doing it. And on the other hand, it's the police and how we judge or evaluate their reaction to it. Damn, should I chase? I don't want nobody to get hurt. But damn, they just shot two motherfuckers.
And I'm gonna tell you, I can see it both ways. You know what I'm saying? I can see it on both sides. But it's just a little bit more part of me saying you need to catch these motherfuckers before they fuck somebody else up. before they take somebody else shit, fuck up somebody else's lives. Cause like it ain't just the thing about stealing the car. You know what I mean? Let's look deeper at that picture, man. People fucking are getting their lives fucked up. Motherfuckers working check to check, trying to get to work and shit. Then one of these little knucklehead motherfuckers come steal a car and fuck their whole life up. You know what I mean? Miss a check, you can't pay the rent type shit. You know what I'm saying? And then how the fuck they gonna get to work? Like it's bigger, it's a bigger picture. Motherfuckers trying to take care of their families, just kids trying to eat. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just a stolen car. You know, we trying to pay bills and feed our kids and put some clothes on their back and shit, but here the fuck you little knuckleheads go.
I think what people need to understand is even if a crime is not committed against you personally, it still affects you. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if we live in a neighborhood where the crime rate is high, the property value is down, the willingness to invest in that area is down. You're going to pay more to insure your own property. Your potential to get harmed by something cataclysmic also increases. So it devalues the whole community, right? And so we thinking just because they didn't steal my shit, right? But do you have car insurance?
Now your insurance rates might go up.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And sometimes just your zip code, when you list it on a job application or you list it on a credit application,
man, that shit matter all the time.
All the time.
Try to get a loan.
That's what I'm saying.
In the wrong zip code. You know what I'm saying? That shit matter all the time.
You don't even get a chance. You don't even get a chance. And so that's why it's so important that the culture, there has to be a shift in the norms in the community in which we really, really do. And I'm going in on the leaders because I believe leaders are put in place to show the way, to lead the way. It means exactly when I say leader, that means you at the front saying, hey man, I'm gonna try and make the best decisions for y'all. When I don't see you creating situations that could assist people. Now people gotta want it. This is a multi-tiered conversation. If you have a program, people got to go sign up for it. But then we got to look at those programs and say, long term, what are you preparing these people for? Are you preparing them to be dependent on a system that's going to give you a program? Are you giving them things that will create independence? And then will they go out and capitalize on it? You know, sometimes the aspiration of the program is too big for the people that's actually in it, Kamar. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go to MPS. I'm going to go to MPS with an engineering program for youngsters, right? And I'm going to put this in, I don't want to pick on no school, but fuck it. Why not? I'm going to put this in Madison High School. You're going to put an engineering program in Madison High School. And I don't know if you looked at the literacy rate. I don't know if you looked at the math scores. I don't know if is there an interest amongst them for STEM? You go in there and you get a minuscule portion of that student population. It doesn't even justify the funding. And then out of those kids, some of them are just in there because they got something out of it. They said we go on trips and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Or because they gotta in there.
Well, they can't make you go if you ain't done nothing.
Right.
So
well, I mean, like, you know how it's a lot of programs and stuff that schools be having, you know what I'm saying? But it'd be mandatory for the students to go and shit. I ain't saying just that one, but if you make a student go somewhere and they don't want the information, they ain't gonna receive it.
But some of these programs, they volunteer. They volunteer.
Right.
And these kids that go in there just to go. Like, there's plenty holes in here. And so they don't work. And
then that's the saying the same thing what I just said pretty much. You know what I mean? They gotta want it. And they go like you saying they're going for the wrong reasons when they go and shit. And I get that too.
I'm saying the pool that you got to choose from is already diluted.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking about, this is an engineering program. You have to be really scholarly and intellectual to become an engineer. You have to have interest. You have to want, your mind has to be on a different level. When we say engineer, Kamar, I think a lot of people think we talking about the dudes who clean up the school. That's not what we're talking about.
With the green suit.
Right. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people who design infrastructure, people who design bridges, people who lay, they're over how things are built, and people who invent things that make things better. These are complex mathematical formulas. And you go into a school that it just doesn't have the population for it. But you're going to spend some money and it's ineffective. So I guess my point is everything has limitations if it's not executed right. You have to execute it right. Any program can be effective if you get the right people, and that's conducting, that's running the program, and the right people that are in the program. I can't teach nothing about engineering if I got a bunch of dudes in the classroom, on the G, and man, high a motherfucker, and man, girls twerking and shit with big ass eyelashes. Who out of here gonna be an engineer? Maybe one kid sitting in the corner like, I really like this shit. But you spend so much time redirecting them, all is lost. I'm just, because she said everybody should be held accountable. I hold us accountable. I think the mistake a lot of people think is that Black people don't have these conversations amongst ourselves about the role we play in our own inequity. Erica said, like I said in the Fire and Police Commission meeting, the police chase would be worth more if it was catching the people that was chasing without collateral damage. Yeah, but I think if they change their strategy and how they pursue. Once again, you can't talk me off this totem pole, Kamar. I believe this should be a joint task force with the Milwaukee County Sheriffs and the Milwaukee Police Department. Because if the police shorthanded and the sheriff shorthanded together,
work together.
So and that's the leadership that I'm looking for. And please don't be the person in the crowd saying, man, they ain't gonna let him do that. Well, if he proposes it and they won't let him do it, then I'll say, yeah, you're right, they did block that shit. But I was more excited about the fact that he proposed it, because it showed me that he's thinking outside the box. This is Mama Jenkins. She said, one word: vote. Be an informed voter, though. Don't just go and just. I think the way I came to the determination that I'm not a I'm not a partisan political person. Excuse me. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, is because I looked at both sides. I wanted to know what I was voting for, Kamar. So I looked at, let me look up this shit. Let me look up this. And I said, this is the same shit. This is the same shit. It's just, both of them is the same, except one is a little bit more slanted towards white nationalism. We see that playing out right now in Washington, D.C. There's always been a hint of white nationalism that's attached to the Republican Party. Not to say that there's not any in the Democratic Party, but you tend to have white people who are more what they would call liberal. If you don't know what liberals are, or woke people, or this is the word that they basically use for nigger lover. That's really what it means, you know. So you got more rich white people in the Democratic Party who will say, oh, just give them a little program, give them some little cookies or whatever. Whereas the conservative side be like, fuck them niggas. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what it is. And then I look at the people who are actually running. It's always going to come down to that individual for me, not the party. I'm going to listen at what they say. I'm going to see how they move, and I'm going to make my decision based on that. Earl Henning in the chat room. What's up, Earl? How you doing? He said, what it do, my brother? Love us united. Man, what a beautiful concept. Unity. And then to add insult to injury with all of this, the leaders voted for themselves to get a pay raise. And he's like, well, we haven't had one since 2008. Who the fuck cares? Y'all still make way more money than the average person here. And you aren't doing anything that would justify me giving you more money. What did his salary go up from, like 127 to like 138? Why? Why do you deserve that?
I think you should only get raises if you don't need to be, if y'all ain't asking for more money. Like, we did good this year. We did great. You know what I mean? We got a surplus of money. Let's give ourselves some raises.
So you don't take your raise out the tax-generated revenue. You get that to some other people. You take your raise out of our pockets. When we didn't already paid the taxes. Man, y'all better come on in, as Kamar say. Y'all better come on in, man. 262-202-5131. Politicks as usual. I listen. It done got so bad for me. I done went and bought me a subscription to the Journal Sentinel. I'm tired of only getting certain articles because I've been unwilling to pay that little $1 a month. I'm like, I need all this. Because once again, in February, it's one thing. In March, it's another thing. In May, it's another thing. If you look at, they spend a whole year, no pun intended, spinning you. So you don't really know, like, wait a minute. I thought you saved us from the fiscal cliff. You didn't tell us this was just going to be for a year. Now we right back in your ass now. And now you paying higher taxes, right? At a time when the economy itself is unstable because of your man's tariffs, because of the uncertainty of where our economy is actually headed with this cat in office. Come on, man. This is.
Hey, that's crazy. You telling people who paying more in taxes that you saved them.
And then you asking them for
that
some
shit
money.
Don't even make no sense. That line right there don't even make no sense. You paying more in taxes, but I saved you. How the fuck did you save me?
Because last year at this time you said we had to do this because if we didn't, we'd have lost crucial services, public services. And then the next year you say, hey, y'all, I'm gonna need some more bread. Wait, I thought you saved it.
Right.
It's Politicks. You know what I'm saying? For you to come out, like I said, and go to the who knows where that street was on the south side where he went was like, this is 90% better. And people around here say, no, it's much safer. I don't know one neighborhood on the north side of Milwaukee where you're going to go and say, has the street gotten safer since I put the bump outs? And they're going to say, it's much safer, Mayor. They're going to say, hell no. No. And you think we can't see you pulling that wool over our eyes. And listen, there's a such thing, Kamar, as political karma. There is a such thing as political karma too, right? You know that, right? Oh yeah. Yeah. Your time is short. What Biggie say? Your time on top was short like leprechauns. Even when I flip it to the county now, I've seen there was already and this sister was exonerated. She's a county executive, Cogs. Her campaign finance was off. It didn't look right. There's some money being spent somewhere places that it shouldn't have been. She was exonerated in court today. Congratulations to her. But where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I'm gonna say about that since she was exonerated from court. But then we have the president of the county supervisors or the county board, Marcella Nicholson. Oh, they went and checked her lifestyle, Kamar. She riding high. She writing checks. She eating exquisite gourmet chocolate desserts from high-end restaurants, expensive hotels, trips, exquisite meals. And now I don't know if she's gonna say I did all that out of my own money. We know that unless DC changed it, what's his name? Ably stripped the county supervisors. He cut their salary years ago, so they don't make exquisite chocolate gourmet dessert money. Not just from that. Now, unless it's went back, because I think he has stripped them all the way down to almost made them part-time employees. But my thing is, this is something that are these people going to be held accountable? Now, you see these politicians. I've seen this sister. I'm not saying she's done anything wrong because it's innocent until proven guilty. But when I see the report that says you paying for you and friends, y'all drinking fine wines in high-end restaurants, sophisticated trips, label them as business trips, all this kind of stuff, it shows me that you playing the system. You're playing the system. That is taxpayer money that you fucking off. That's taxpayer money. Well, they donated it to me. They donated it to you for your campaign. She ran unopposed, Kamar. So that means all the funds she raised was to the kitty, right? So that's why she eating gourmet chocolate mousse and truffles and shit on the beach. And you represent Milwaukee County. Have you seen Milwaukee County lately? And they got their own budget issues because he had to reorganize everything because they did one of them spend jobs too. Was it $19 million? Once again, after the tax rate. And at first they blamed the people and said, shit, And we ain't generating as much money as we thought because y'all motherfuckers ain't spending money. But don't nobody want no $12 bottle of water from the Milwaukee County Zoo. Motherfucker bring their own water in or just be thirsty. so all kinds of stuff that they're charging for that's inflated, and they blamed it on us, and then they said, no, we fixed it. Then it was 3 million. It got down to 2 million. Now they're saying it's all good. It's politics. Who knows? Every single step of the way, we have called this out on my show. I don't know if we talking too fast or you're listening too slow, because especially about this $200 million. I said at one point, Kamar, I was going to mention it every show, and I think I did so for about 4 months straight. I don't care what we was talking about. I said $200 million, 90% of that.
Yeah, well, that was an ongoing joke for a while.
And now one of the aldermen is saying something about it. And the mayor is telling him, well, you didn't read the bill correct. Well, the question is simple. Was it 200 million? Because this is what you told us. Yep. Did you allocate 90? Well, not you, but was 90% allocated? Yep. Then how am I misreading the bill? There's no way 90% of that money should have went to no goddamn pension plans. I don't care what you say. Somebody tried to call in. I'm just looking. Caller, I wasn't paying attention. So if you're trying to call into the show, please hit my line. Please hit my line. If you're calling me for the show, hit me back. I'm looking at the phone now. If you're calling me just to chop it up, because it's like, yeah, what the Packers going to do Sunday? Call me after the show. Call me after the show. But yeah, 262-202-5131. Outlaw Radio, Politicks. On a Wednesday, man. It's very hard to be optimistic. And I like to make another point in that the city budget is $2 billion, Kamar. Listen to what I'm saying, because I'm laughing out loud. I'm sorry, y'all. The city budget, the annual budget for 2026 is $2 billion, right? MPS's budget is $1.5 billion.
Damn.
And
so
they
it
still
costs MPS the same amount of money to run the schools damn near as it do to run the city.
Woo! Listen, for those of you who just tuning in, I'm gonna say this
get
again.
Another superintendent.
We'll change the system. Change it.
Yeah.
Change it. And guess where the majority of the money that funds MPS is going to come from? The property tax levy. Here we go on that. Boy, that property tax levy is a redhead stepchild. He get his ass whooped constantly. Everybody beat on that dude. They're even saying like we need to take, and this I should have taken this alderman's name. He's saying we got to reconsider some things, like even the operation of this useless trolley. Like, because the city is on the hook for the maintenance, because the government came out after they allocated the money for it and said, hey, Scott Walker, hurry up and jumped on that and said, y'all know we ain't finna be fixing this shit, right? The state ain't got nothing to do with it. That's old Milwaukee. Who's getting on this train, on this sub, or whatever this trolley? Who's riding that? Right? Get rid of that shit. It's a lot of stupid shit that you're doing. But see, what you're really doing is you're making sure downtown is continuously developed, because you need somewhere for these gentrifiers to go. I understand. They want to sip lattes and, walk with their dogs and all this kind of shit right down Martin Luther King Avenue and say, hey, this is historic Bronzeville. That shit gonna stop looking bronze as time goes on more and more. This shit ain't so bronze anymore. This is Earl Henning got to say this once a show. Say, fuck Donald. Earl Henning said the mayor's making $167,000. $167,000. Let me see who this is. I'm gonna keep missing the call when I get to running my mouth. You put him on the spot by calling him back, Kamar.
Hello?
Sean Moore, were you trying to call into Outlaw Radio?
Yeah, I was just about to. Yeah. Yes, I was.
What's going on, man? Hold on, let me finish the chat room so I can let you pop your shit, man. Okay. This is Earl Henning. He said missing money and have a new 2023 BMW. Sean saying answer the phone. Nigga, pick up the phone. and he's speaking to Mama Jenkins. Sean Moore's on the line with us. What's popping with you, Sean? What's good?
Hey, Mama Jenkins. What up, brother?
What's
How
happening?
you doing, Kumar? So
Hey,
I'm calling in to repeat my request from Monday
Okay.
that everybody sign a petition, share the petition. All right. I'm working with a lady now, man. Her whole wall is full of black mold.
Mm.
So some people that were fixing on the house down the street came and looked at the mold at the wall, the outside wall. They said it needs an inner frame and an outer frame. Okay, and it's black mold. The city came out. They took a rent from $800 to $656. Okay. I've written the amendment to the ordinance, and I need our help so that I can get this passed and we can start holding these people accountable, making them either take care of these properties or get rid of these properties so that other people can either renovate them or tear them down, whatever they got to do. But people can't keep living like this. They can't. This lady has an open hole in her stomach. And in and out the hospital. She can't afford to really go nowhere else. I just need everybody's help.
So where are you posting this information?
Online. I'm sending it out to people. If people want to send me their emails, to tag me in a post, anything, I can put the link on Facebook. It is on Facebook, on my page. I believe it's on the People's News Network, and other pages, right? I text people. Yeah, it's on my Facebook page. So I'm going to repost it again. And please, man, just go on there, hit the link, sign the petition, share the petition, like you share the show. Share the petition, right? And nothing against the show, but share the petition even more.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, no. Share the petition even more because the show ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but you
right?
on the show speaking about it live, so it would behoove
I
you
am.
to want people to share this show with you telling them
Well,
about
I said
it.
share the show too, though.
Well, yeah, but share the show more because you're on the show.
However, right, as long as it gets shared, right,
okay,
so that we can help us out, man. I can't even get angry because I'm so hurt behind it.
Has this lady contacted the FEMA joint? And also the mayor.
The landlord tried to contact the FEMA joint.
Okay.
So that she can get the money.
Okay. Was it given or what's the progress on it?
Don't know yet, and she ain't gonna tell the tenant.
So let me ask you this, or let me talk about this. They just announced that there are now relief centers set up. So people who have suffered like the real catastrophic damage to their properties now can go there and stay. I'm guessing there's some sort of shelter component to this.
Mm-hmm.
So has she reached out to them?
Her house is not affected.
And she got black mold, and they're saying both in and out. Her house is affected. How is it not? That's.
It wasn't affected by the flood. By this. It doesn't qualify for FEMA.
But I'm talking about the centers now. The city and the county has set up these relief centers where they can go and they don't have to live in these places where there's mold and whatnot. That's why they came up with them, because the reality is that a lot of people who have slumlords or slow to react landlords are dealing with still sitting in a home, and yet the water's gone.
Hear what I said initially.
What was that?
That the city came out and they took her rent down from $800 to $656.
No, I heard that, but I don't know if that affects her ability or her eligibility to go to the disaster relief center and live there with her health condition as opposed to staying there because the rent went down $200.
So what okay, but maybe I'm just looking at it from the obvious connection. We talking about the city and the county, right? And somebody from the city did come out and they didn't refer her or suggest that anything.
They just announced this within the last 4 or 5 days. Yeah, so I'm saying
they just came out today though.
I thought it was last Friday.
No, the city just came out today.
No, I'm talking about the announcement of the. I'm hearing you on the city coming and all of that.
And I'm hearing you on that.
What I'm saying is there's a place she doesn't have to live in that, and I work in basically in service referrals and resources for people. So I know that there were several shelters across the city, different places, different organizations, because I referred some people to them that were set up for this. We had a whole thing with flood resources. So there were several different shelters before FEMA came. Even if the city came, because I would tell them, I don't care about your $200. I don't want to live here with this black mold.
I don't think these centers are medically equipped to house her, though. She has an open hole in her stomach. She's in and out the hospital.
So what she got at her house?
I don't know what it is. I'm not.
I mean, is her house customized? Her. You saying they're not medically equipped, but what does she have in her house that makes her house medically equipped to maintain her? Because if it's a piece of equipment, I'm pretty sure she could bring it with her, couldn't she? I'm asking.
She's in and out. She goes in and out the hospital for whatever it is.
Okay, and so she wouldn't be able to do that from the shelter. No, shelters, they don't keep beds like that. No, they don't. That's not what they do. Wait. Beds like, well, I'm here. I stay
here. They don't.
I need to go to the hospital. I'll be back.
So shelters, shelters are, unless they change. And you know what? I don't know because I ain't never been in no shelter. So
okay.
Yeah, I can't even answer that, right? Okay. Right? I'm about to put up an argument about something I don't even know.
I'm not trying to put you under cross-examination. What I'm doing is, once again, what I do almost entirely for a living is people who have issues that are in need of resources. I get them the resources. So if somebody was to come to me and say, hey, I have a medical condition and my landlord, the process is slowed all the way down, first thing I'm going to do is dive in the pool of resources to say, and make those phone calls for that person to say, here's the details. Can you help us? No. Call another one. Here's the details. Can you help us? No. Call another one. And then when I find that one that fits, I call that person to say, listen, for the time being, you need to relocate and get out of the house with that mold and get into the shelter. And then now we'll go back towards this landlord because he or she is going to get hers, especially if they get that FEMA bread and they don't fix the house or whatever they get, or like you said, the city needs to step in and condemn the house.
Yeah.
Green boards.
And my thing is, my focus right now is overall, right? Not just this landlord, but all of these slumlords, these out of town owners that are neglecting these properties. We need to change the ordinance so they can no longer take advantage of our people.
Right.
I don't want the immediate. I want the remedy. Right? How do we fix the problem?
But ain't the remedy is long term. Her survival and her well-being is immediate.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So
yes,
you got to be able to see. You got to see the forest. You got to see the trees before you can see the whole forest.
So I've called the Department of Aging and Disability. I'm going over there tomorrow because it's right up the street. Hopefully I can get them to move expeditiously and do something about this because waiting on ain't nobody else.
Or do this for me. Call me during business hours, right? Call me during my business hours and say, Kev, I need all the flood resources that you can provide me. And I will shoot you every single thing that I've referred people to. And if none of it helps, I mean, it doesn't help, but I mean, the effort is made. The effort has to be made. Yeah,
It's
so
worth a try.
just holler at me during business hours, because like I said, I've in the capacity of my job, I've had a lot of people come and say, hey, my basement, my house, yada yada yada. And I'm like, yo, here you go. Call all these numbers. If none of them work, holler at me and I'll give you another number to call. So I mean,
Okay.
so resources is one of my areas of expertise right now, because it's a lot of shit. There's a lot of things allocated in this city, in this county, in this state, in this country. The money is allocated for people who are really dealing with some things. And a lot of times they don't know about it. So they don't even go after it. And the shit just
I'm
sits
gonna
there.
be calling you for other resources as well, because I'm gonna start helping my uncle reestablish the Howard Fuller Educational Foundation, and we doing some stuff over in Metcalf Park. So I'm gonna be calling for
some of that's
stuff.
billable hours, though. Some of that's billable hours. some of that got a consulting fee now, Sean. I wanted to help the sister, you know what I mean? But we start talking about, hey man, I do this shit. I do this shit for a job. Like, this is my career. I have to get compensated for my assistance, But no, just holler at me, man.
Once I figure out some funding sources so I can be compensated, then we can talk about compensation.
Hey man, compensation is a beautiful thing. As a matter of fact,
y'all
hit that Cash App, and I got Zelle now. I'm gonna need for y'all to hit that Cash App, and I got Zelle, man. We need to make this thing bigger.
Does that mean that you ain't gonna be like hanging up on people unexpectedly?
It depends on what they say.
Okay.
And also sometimes I think people have to understand, if we're on and this show's going crazy, because I've been on and the line is going stupid, it automatically hangs up on like the last person on the line. Like, so if you was first and the calls keep coming, the first call is getting dropped. It can only hold 5-6 calls. One night I had like 8 people on the phone. And it's also people who, when they get hung up on, they just call back. What's my son call it spamming. Just call back 17 times in a row. The whole line.
You niggas need to call each other on 3-way and then call the show.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's it right there. That's it right there.
Shit,
conference call.
They all arguing.
The real conference call.
They all arguing, Kumar. They be arguing before they even get on the show if it's 3 of them on the phone. Goddamn it. When I say hello, they gonna already be arguing and shit. So, but no, holler at me, Sean. Holler at me, man.
Erica and Dion. Yeah,
holler at me,
I will, man. Y'all have a good night, man. I gotta keep on contacting these people. So
yeah, man.
Because she's not the only person. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of people who need help.
So many, man. Yeah, it's just so many, man.
Yeah.
So many.
I deal with this every day. Every day I hear people. That's what people. They come see me when they got an issue. Hey, Mr. Barnes. When I hear him say that, I'm like, oh shit, what is this? Hey, you Mr. Barnes? Like, it's like, see what had happened was. I'm like, how can I help you? It's what I do. So, I always tell people I'm a professional people helper. I'm not an amateur helper. I do this shit for real. So yeah, man, holla at me, man. Holla at me.
I got you. Yeah. I got you. Y'all have a good night, man.
Talk to y'all later, bro. Peace and love.
Peace.
Yes, sir. Outlaw Radio, Politicks as usual on a Wednesday evening. Caller, who this?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I am doing well. What's popping with you?
Nothing. Just tuned in not too long ago. Just really got off work. Hey, did you chop it up about the shit that happened at Tennessee State University with the white people going down there and trying to debate the kids and all that?
I did not, because I was talking about the name of the show is Politicks as usual, and we were still discussing some of the malfeasancy and some of the misappropriation and some of the inappropriate political behavior of some of our elected officials, from this loose as a goose, flat as an egg budget to behavior of county executives. County supervisors, to when we didn't even get to the national part of it yet. But I mean, I guess that's a good segue. So what happened at 10? I know that there was something going on down there. You got more details on it? Please enlighten us.
Not really. They didn't enlighten me. I heard about it on, what was that, Rolling or CNN, one of them.
Okay.
And they was just talking about some maggots went down to Tennessee, trying to debate. Really, I believe they was really trying to cause some chaos and try to point out, errors in black behavior, shit white people do to try to lure us in. And when they get what they want, then now they come like, yeah, they're wild, they're animals, they're this, they're that, But what the fuck is going on? My whole thing is that I don't know if people are afraid to say it or they just don't want to say it. And the thing is, I would tell people, don't engage in violent behavior, but keep your head on a swivel, because these people are really trying to look for ways to attack us. And, a lot of people want to have the kumbaya and think voting in the ballot don't do it. Sometimes it's like Malcolm said, by any means necessary. We don't have to engage in violence, but we ain't got to let no motherfuckers walk over us neither. Our ancestors, our ancestry did that for us. Now it's time for us to, like I said, we don't have to engage in violence, but we need to protect ourselves by any means necessary. And, these are out here, they agitating, they poking the bear. You know what I'm saying? They poking the bear, and, sometimes, like what they be calling, they gonna fuck around and find out. You feel what I'm saying? Because just leave us alone. Let us be. Just let us be. Leave us alone with that dumb shit. Go be with Trump. Mourn Charlie Kirk. Do whatever the fuck y'all gonna do, but just leave us and our children alone. All we trying to do is live. We want to build a utopia for ourselves one day. Maybe we could buy some land or, find a way to separate from this bigoted ass, racist ass country. You feel what I'm saying?
I mean, it seems like I hear what you're saying, but it can be pretty confusing because you're saying some different things. First of all, you're saying, with people saying we need to vote and all this, and that ain't gonna help us. Well, actually, it could help. It's part of it. I don't think one single thing will be the ultimate ingredient. Voting is part of it because there should be some federal protections made for us, period. If you can do it for Asians and say, well, don't if you harm Asians or the Jewish, you say anything about Jewish people, you do anything to them, they're protected, then we should be on that list as well. But I think also when you say, well, we don't want to engage in violence, but we want to defend ourselves. To defend ourselves is to engage in violence. So we got to stop saying.
But that's only when necessary, though.
Well, once again, it is yet and still engaging in violence. And I'm not one who's going to tell you. I'm not the turn the other cheek person. I totally agree with you that don't start no shit, but if you start it, it's on and popping, right? And it is what it is. So just by my belief in that, I'm not going to tell people not to engage in violence. I'm going to tell them to be sensible, be serious, and be aware. And things like this always annoy me because if this is a black college, I'm sure a lot of those kids have connections to, say, Memphis, Tennessee. Now, how far is Tennessee? I've never been there. How far is Tennessee State from Memphis?
I think Tennessee State. It might be in Nashville. I'm gonna have to Google it real quick.
So, however it go, if I'm at Tennessee State and I'm from Memphis, I'm from Orange Mound, I'm from one of them tough, rough neighborhoods in Tennessee, and I call home and say, "Yo, it's a bunch of MAGAs down here, cuz there should be a caravan on the way to Tennessee State. They should show up.
I agree.
They should show up. Now, the fact that they don't, right? Because if it's anything in it, I kill a nigga, I blow a nigga head off. I mean, look at what they done to young dogs.
We ain't fuck each other.
Well, so once again, when I look at the MAGAs and they look and say, well, we ain't got to worry about them doing nothing because these niggas ain't gonna stand together anyways. They too busy fucking each other up. That's what they're going to say. That's not true in all cases, but I definitely think there should have been enough brothers down there. This is a black college. There should have been enough brothers down there where the police had to come get them off their ass. What we talking about? Everybody want to talk shit, but when it's on, where you at? What's it? The Ghetto Boy song. When it get gangsta, is you niggas gonna fight or run? like how, like everybody talk, everybody rough, hard, tough. Yeah, I do this. I'm a real one when if it's up and it's stuck. And then some MAGA people come and you, oh shit. Oh,
but the killing part about it, they will do that to one of us. You know what I'm saying? They'll fuck me and you up.
Goddamn right. For less. So it's hard for me to say, oh, them poor kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't, let me state this right, okay? Because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Because if it's our babies on the line, it should be no holds barred. It should be all in, ass, gas, or cash. But I'm saying our children have to learn when it's them on that campus at Tennessee State University, which is a proud Black institution, a historically Black college or university. They had a chance right there to set a precedent. Remember, wasn't the river boat down there in Memphis? Wasn't that in Tennessee? The casino boat, wasn't that down there?
That was Alabama.
Okay.
That was Montgomery, Alabama.
Well, so my point is that was a chance for those Black people there that day to say, fuck this shit. We gonna show y'all. That footage will be played 60, 70 years from now, and you will get a feeling in your chest saying, man, it was good to see us stand together like that. That should be contagious. So all them youngsters, the youngsters got the legs. My old ass I can't be out there wrestling with no MAGAs. They should be getting loked up saying, yo, it's brothers there and it's sisters there. The brothers should be getting together. You got frats, sororities. They should be on the front line like we protecting ourselves. I don't know what their reaction was. That's why I ask you. But I think the story should have came back that, man, MAGA walked up on the campus and got overwhelmed. So Ian, we'll talk about it after the show. Hold on, Ian's in the chat room. He's talking about the Zelle. We'll talk about it after the show. I'm not really 100% sure. I know I have it set up. We'll talk after the show. We'll talk because I can't figure it out while I'm on the air. Go ahead, Dion.
Yeah, the name of the conservative group was Members of the Fearless Debate, and they came to TSU to create conversation and discourse.
Now,
and I guess the NAACP of the Nashville chapter countered the group's goal, and I guess they was down there to not stand on business, but like, hey, this ain't that, this ain't this.
So it was a yell off. It was a lot of times when you see these neo-Nazi organizations and these whatever quasi clan, whatever the fuck you call them, when they come to your town or city, they are heavily protected by police, by law enforcement. A lot of times they are because there's supposed to be such a thing as free speech in this country, and it's supposed to be protected. Now we are in a day and time now where we see it ain't necessarily what you think it was. As it depend on who's saying it. So I watched Kimmel last night. I didn't watch the show last night, but I watched the highlights of his comments. And he wasn't apologetic, but he was very explanatory. He was very he wanted to elaborate on why the attack on free speech, and he was basically telling us stuff we already knew. Now you see now the latest development is they're trying to put in place legislation that will put Charlie Kirk on the money. He'll be on the silver dollar.
For real?
Yeah, it's in the People's News Network.
Man, these people, it's just every day a fucking slap in the face, man. A fucking slap. But you know what though? I believe it though, and we was talking about it, but people don't want to elaborate on it because it's like, oh, it's over and done now. But I was watching this group the other day, and they was talking about that they believe that the voting machines were manipulated. And I truly believe that. And this ain't the first, because that's just like, and basically how they was comparing the shit. Say Milwaukee. Milwaukee is a Democratic city. There is no way in the hell that if Donald Trump would have won the city of Milwaukee, we couldn't have said that these voting machines were manipulated. So they're saying that a lot of blue, they were saying that a lot of the blue areas, geographical areas. Now they had the state, and they'll break it down like this is a Democratic area, this is a Republican area, blah, 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 blah. Even with gerrymandering. But they said 9 times out of 10, they said this region right here has voted Democratic for so many years, and all of a sudden Trump won. You know what I'm saying? And then they was talking about how they was comparing the poll machines to how Volkswagen had used the software to manipulate where the diesel engine, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to send it to you where you could really listen to it and how they was breaking it down. And I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like the reason I feel like the election was manipulated because it was just too fucking close. Now, if it was or it wasn't, it's too late now. But it's just like, you know, these people going all in, and you know, like I said, everything that's going on right now is part of the Project 2025.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't care whether or not the vote machines were manipulated. I'm gonna tell you why.
I'm gonna mute you because I'm eating some chips.
The reason why is because of the way the country has reacted in unity with Trump and white nationalism. The support he receives, the support that the white conservative nationalist party is receiving. If you can fill up an NFL football stadium for somebody who's not even an elected official, he wasn't even an elected official. Yeah, it's very influential. I don't care. He never ran. He never held any kind of office, right? We don't, and most of the time he spoke, he was uninformed and his information was inaccurate. But there's so much love for him. And just because he got murdered. No, it's bigger than that. It's because he's saying what you want to say. It's because you have a battery in your back and now it's cool for you to speak out against the blacks, right? Xenophobia is at an all-time high with immigration and ICE. So why not go after the niggers too? They can't get a free ride. So my point is in all of that is it's not over and done with because they're still saying they're going to give him another national memorial ceremony on October 14th. There are people out here who, and it's mostly white racist people. He is a bigger hero than Batman, Superman. If you see his wife on stage with Trump at his memorial service, at his funeral, this was the fakest, most thinnest shit I've ever seen in my life. But they were all there for one reason. None of them like black people. You can't tell me you like black people and you liked him. If you tell me that, I'm going to say, you don't really like black people. You're lying. You don't get to have that both ways. I don't have a problem with blacks. You absolutely do. That's why you love Kirk. One of his biggest things was his multiple issues with us. Listen at him talk. We were the biggest. We made up the bulk of his material. And the more extreme and the more ignorant he got, the louder they cheered. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right, Charlie. So my point
we was his last words.
My point is like, what about? My point is that when you see a bunch of people who love him so much, when you see these people behind Trump that he can be convicted of 34 felonies, he can say whatever he wants, he can fuck the economy up, he can take people's jobs, and they're still standing with him. It's simply because they're all white nationalists, and white nationalists could give a shit about black people. Now, when you find those within that party that say, I'm going to say something about it, they all going to be like, yeah, man. Yeah. So, this is the way things are. I think it requires for us to look at ourselves, right? Like proper preparation prevents poor performance. We should be looking at the fact that we'll laugh and joke and make records and videos and movies about killing each other. And that shit is popular. It's playing on pop radio, choppers, Swiss cheese. We got all this kind of stuff. We got the switchies, but some white MAGAs can roll onto a black college campus and the kids will say, help us. We should have been we should have been in a situation where we was trying to call down there to calm our kids down. Y'all let them go. Y'all get up off them white people. How many concerts you see afterwards, kids kicking each other ass? Water Street down here in Milwaukee, kids shooting at each other, whooping each other ass. Why was there no video of none of these kids at this school or in the surrounding area getting some ass? No diddy. Getting in some ass? No diddy. That's a direct reflection on us. That's a direct reflection on our fear our insecurities, our inferiority complex, because I will fuck one of my
I
people
agree.
up. I will fuck one of my people up, but Lord, that's massa. That's why I say you see somebody who got enough guts to get a couple AK-47s, shoot up a crib, kill everybody inside, but then when the police come, they run. What, y'all out of bullets? Stay and shoot the fuck the police. And I'm not telling nobody to do that. I'm just saying it shows you how scary a lot of us really are when it comes to white people. You are, oh shit, that white man coming. So I look at the thing down there in Tennessee. It's a shame. You're right. I mean, come on, man. I mean, if they're gonna keep trying to say, we got to figure out a way to get these niggas, because how long have we said to start this whole thing off? When Trump first started, we was on the sideline, wasn't really fucking with us a whole lot. There was that underbelly of, okay, I'm gonna attack Black history, anything that's pertaining to what has happened historically in our country, racially. I'm gonna take all that. I'm gonna attack it subtly. I'm gonna start going in. I'm gonna get rid of affirmative action. I'm gonna get rid of DEI. I'm gonna get rid of all this stuff, all these kinds of quotas that are put in place to regulate the federal placement and hiring of people of color. And we still was chilling because we realized that a long time ago, other groups had overtaken us in those pursuits. Meaning nobody won more in DEI than white women and gay people. Nobody won more in affirmative action and all this kind of stuff than white women and white men, even in some cases, who sued their college because they didn't get in, and they said, well, they have a race quota, so it discriminated against me. Ain't it ironic that a group of people who have been fucking you over for 500 years and even further back are concerned about fairness right now? This is their whole mantra. That's not fair. Really? Y'all saying something? Y'all saying something ain't fair. I'm sorry, I can't really hear you. Why was all this shit put in place in the first place? Because you had it so that only you won. So now all of a sudden there's no need for that. And they all are united around this. And the only way we'll really be able to teach them a lesson is economically. We don't win any victories by sacrificing ourselves, trying to run up on some police or trying to ride on some white people. No, that ain't gonna get them. When we stop spending all this bread and they start saying, wait a minute, spending in the Black community is down, and then all of a sudden the ownership in the Black community starts to go up. Like they really ain't shopping with us no more. Holy shit. But man, look at this little business district that it's done developed over here where they're really spending with each other, economic cohesiveness. Then I bet you some shit shake in Washington. I bet you shit start to move then. But as long as man, I will never forget. I can't remember what happened. Kamar, I don't know if you was on Outlaw Radio yet. I think this might have been during my Panther days, and I might have been doing the Panther Power Hour. And there was something that was going on in the city. There was some injustice that had been served. And Mike McGee Jr., and at that time, I think he was an alderman. So I don't even think I was doing Outlaw Radio yet. He called for an economic boycott, maybe just 1 or 2 day boycott. As he said, listen, this is stupid. We got to stop doing the same thing. But at the same time, and I remember this vividly, some pink and gray retro Jordans opened up. I mean, came out, and people were lined up around the corner at Athlete's Foot in Midtown to get the shoe. Because and at that time, Midtown was popping still. So he was like, no, we're going to shut all that down. Don't go to the Walmart. Don't go to Pick and Save. Don't go nowhere. Man, them shoes came out. Shit. It was brothers and sisters waiting hours before the shoe came out. And I think at that point, Mike just said, you know what? I'm cool. I'm cool. And shout out to that brother. Cool brother. Good brother, man. Real. That's my real partner right there. We work together. We've conversed a lot. He went to approach this from an academic perspective after that. Forget all of the marches and the protests. Nah, we got to get this money. We got to get this money together, man. As an individual, you got to get your money. And then as a community, we got to get our money. And for us to allow this mayor to deliver this budget, and the aldermen that are arguing over the $200 million tax revenue, how we used it, the $200 million generated from the Act 12 tax increase. But they ain't talking about us. We're not saying enough. I vividly remember saying on the show, how come I thought it would be so much outrage? Man, I was doing my Birdman with my hands that night, Kamar. I seen it. I said, "Ooh, we're gonna talk about this shit on the show. People gonna be pissed." I didn't hear nothing but crickets. What happened? Are you so bludgeoned that you punch drunk? Right? Like you so beat down that you like, I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to fight no more. We just did a show called Fight or Flight, ironically. And that's what that was about. There's no way he should be able to do some of the things he's doing and say some of the things he's saying, and nobody's. Our black media outlets, for what they're worth, are so democratically, what's a good way to put this? Democratically enhanced via money that you can't even really call him what you want. You can't really say what you want to say. You end up getting censored by the censors who don't want censorship. So, but there's all of our leaders should have done a joint. This should have been all them black dudes who be standing behind the mayor when it's a murder. All these dudes who go to these brainstorming meetings and all this shit and get up and beat their drum. And this should have been a coalition that made a huge press conference right when that happened to make everybody aware of what they just did. Now, this is 7-8 months later, and when the budget comes out and they say, we still got a $100 million shortfall in the city budget. Now you got some aldermen who want to say something. It's too late now. The check been written. And once again, it's double dipping if we gave them 10% of that money and they're going to get a raise anyways, and their union is even asking for more. Well, there's an increase, there's a requirement for Act 12 that they have to have X amount of officers and what is a certain period of time. So there's money from that. They get to enjoy that. They get to enjoy the raise that they got, and they may even get more because they're saying we're overwhelmed. This is why they're not even doing an effective job. Dude, there was that one night a couple months ago when it was probably like, I don't know, about 4 homicides. It was crime all over the city. And one of those districts had to come out and admit they literally only had 2 officers working. And this is like one of them ones in the hood. And it's like, well, we had people taking transport in the hospitals and all this. And so we're going to keep giving them money. What they going to do with the money? If you overwhelm and you ain't got enough officers, then that means you ain't spending all the money that you got. Am I hearing this correctly? If you say we got staffing issues, then that means we don't have enough people, right? So that means you got money left to hire people. So why do you need more? This is I'm surprised that somebody ain't came for this goddamn community development block grant money yet. I'm surprised where is that money? How does that figure in? Because that COVID money is running out. They all took a piece of it. It's running out. So Milwaukee, $2 billion budget. We still need 100 more million. In a city that's 48% black, and over half those people live below the poverty line. Who the fuck are you asking for the money from? Our home ownership is super low, right? So if you put that on their landlord and his or her property taxes go up, guess what? Your rent going up. If I had enough money to pay a high rent, I wouldn't be living in this shit. I'd buy me a house or I'd move somewhere better. It's a domino effect. So we shouldn't allow these city or county politicians to tell us some shit and talk out the side of their neck and then say one thing. Man, I got so upset when I seen this. It was like a double whammy for you to come out one night talking about how you made the streets safer and then come out talking about how violence is down. Obviously, we got some work to do. Yeah, if you look to your back and your right, you probably see a car accident, Mayor. You come and tell us the streets is safer and then 3 people get killed the next night. What's the truth? And he might say, well, it's less than it was last year. So, dude, if you don't go, please just go. Just go, brother. I mean, listen, once again, people who support him have to understand on this show, this is not personal. I don't think he's a bad person, Kamar. I haven't accused him of being a criminal, a crook. I ain't say he stole no money. The only thing I've ever said is I don't see his vision for leadership.
Ain't nothing wrong with saying somebody bad at their job.
Exactly. Right. But you know how we is. Kev hating, man. Kev, man. It's another black man, dog. Like, you know how we get, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I get it, but look around, player. Man, my city is the shit. I wanted to live up to its full potential. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know so many people who have said, man, I ain't gonna lie. I came to Milwaukee one time in the summer, man. I had a good ass motherfucking time. I know people who live here who say, man, I don't like the winter, but ain't no place better than this motherfucker in the summer. They trying to make it so we can't enjoy that, or we can't restore it to back to what it once was, because it's been bad for a very long time in terms of the way we live in our community. But this is a new low for us. Our mentality now is different. We got a corroded mentality, man. We look up to a lot of things that we shouldn't be looking up to. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of people in the media who we look up to that we shouldn't be looking up to. Like, I'll get into some rap stuff a little bit later. But I did want to talk about the fact that HIV has officially been cured. So if you have HIV or you have AIDS, I don't know if does anybody still get full-blown AIDS? There's so much HIV medication, but the latest development is this CRISPR therapy is what it's called. They said this is the first drug that effectively removes HIV from your cells and it can't come back. It destroys it. So AIDS is cured. Now, we talked about AIDS one time, and when I said I didn't even know that there was a cure for AIDS, because you start seeing these commercials for these pills, and they're saying, if you are at the risk of getting AIDS, take this pill. And I said, wait a minute, they didn't tell us it was a pill for AIDS. And then we seen Magic Johnson live 35 years longer after he got this whatever he got. They said it's undetectable on him now. So CRISPR therapy, they said it's ending HIV. So I'm glad that I wish they could do the same for cancer. I wish they could do the same for diabetes, all these crazy diseases, especially sickle cell, because that's something that's more pointed towards us. But yeah, man, I think that's good though. So if you have HIV now, I guess you can go get the CRISPR therapy and you'll be cured. This is something that we didn't see coming. I guess I did, because like I said, they start selling these pills that said that they can take it to undetectable levels, but they're saying this actually eliminates it. It kills it. So shout out.
My nigga said the AIDS.
HIV.
Why do you call it? Oh, okay.
Because you get HIV first, and then if it turns into what they call full-blown AIDS. But you don't even
niggas about to be out here reckless.
Man, we. It's like this is gonna do what Plan B did for sex, for unwanted pregnancies. Plan B got them going. Like, I mean, it's people who have Plan B reserves at their crib. Like, yo, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and do it. Now, I don't know. There's not a cure for herpes yet, is it? I don't think there's a cure for herpes yet.
Mm-mm. You could go to jail for putting a Plan B in a woman's food too.
Well, why would you put the Plan B in her food though? That is devious. You should go to jail for that. Why would you? And how can she? It's a pill. I've never seen one. Is it a pill? What is it? It comes in a pill.
It's a pill.
So you gonna crush it up and put it in her macaroni and cheese, and she ain't gonna. I'm just saying, how do you slip that in her food?
Man, put it in whatever you gotta put it in. Shit.
My God. If you that kind of dude,
you cold-blooded, Dion.
Yeah.
No, don't put it off on me. I don't be the women I mess with. They can't get pregnant. I fuck with them old heads. They can't get pregnant. Hey, check it out, right? So today,
this nigga mashing up Plan Bs in the oatmeal and shit. The next
what the fuck? Hey, don't drink that shit, girl. I don't drink. You do that. I bought that for you. Don't drink that shit, girl.
Hey,
show oatmeal.
So, hey, Kev, I want to ask you a question. You probably will agree with it, but it don't make no difference. Shit, I did it anyway. So today, by me got this new position, you know what I'm saying? They subbed me out to different schools. So anyway, they sent me on the south side today. So when I got there, I called dude and I said, I'd rather be around my own kind. And everybody was like, why did you say that? That's offensive and this, that, and other. But, I don't like Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? So shit, I'd rather be, around my own kind of people. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no shame. I'm not ashamed of it. And it's like, to me, I feel like when a black man or when black people, we don't like something, it's like, oh my God. But anybody else could just say, oh, I don't like that. And, it's okay. No, I do not like Mexicans, white people, none of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't think nothing wrong with my preference. You know what I'm saying? I just prefer to be around people that look like me.
I'm going to tell you like this. There's a time and a place for everything.
Hello?
Let me make sure I can still. Can you hear me now, Dion?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There's a time and a place for everything, right? And there's a such thing called appropriateness. And in no way, shape, form, or fashion would I go to work and say, I'd rather be around black people, or I don't like white people, or I don't like Mexicans. I would never do that.
I didn't go that deep into my beliefs, but I just said I would rather be around my own people.
Once again, I don't think that's something you should say at work. I don't. Because if I'm at work and there's a white guy, and more often than not, I'm probably got him diagnosed anyways. Like, yeah, I bet you this motherfucker right here, racist as hell. If he come out his mouth and say, I'm just gonna be honest with you, Kevin, I'd rather be around other white people. It's just my preference. I'm calling HR expeditiously. Get this motherfucker up out of here because I'm black. Put him somewhere where he can be around his people. Let me help you out. I don't think that's appropriate to say. And I don't really see that it's a need to say it at work. Like, it's just like walking in work saying, ooh, I had some good ass sex last night. Who cares? Like, well, that's inappropriate. Like, I just, it's just some time and place. It's like what they say, pick and choose your battles, right? I'm not finna come up into work with. Now, a person could catch one episode of my podcast and say that I work with and say, Kevin, I seen a show where you said you were not racist, but you were prejudiced. And I explained that. And TikTok, that video has gotten a lot of traction on TikTok. But I can tell them, well, first of all, you got to understand what I said. I said I'm not racist. And I said that I don't hate anybody else. I prefer my own people. But that has nothing to do with me as a professional. I'm a professional when I'm at work. I will work with anybody so long as they allow me to. What I do at my house, in my home, on my own personal time, you don't have nothing to say about it. Now, am I leading a rally downtown talking about down with white people? Now, if you see me doing that on my podcast, then call me into the office. But don't call me in because I said I prefer the company of my own people and I'm in my own home, right? So either way, you can get caught up in some shit. But at work, they'll say, we never knew because you never expressed that sentiment. You damn right, you never knew. You damn right, you never knew because it's not appropriate for me to say that. What's that thing they say, Kamars? If you don't got something good to say, shut the fuck up. No, that ain't how it go. I'm paraphrasing.
Don't say nothing at all.
That's how it go. I knew it was something like that. Ruben Anderson, man, how you doing? How you doing, my brother? Earl Henning, he says some stuff you keep it to yourself, and behind that he says put the plan B in her eggs. Come on, Earl.
My God, stupid.
Let's not crush up plan B.
I agree. I agree with keeping it to yourself because a lot of the time when we say the wrong thing, we bring the wrong energy. We invite the wrong energy because that go along the line with we could say whatever we want to say, but we ain't got no control over how nobody react. You know what I'm saying? And like, ain't nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm more comfortable around my people too. And would much rather be in a room full of black people than white people, or you know what I'm saying, or Mexican people, or whatever they may be.
I think you have the right, and anybody who, first of all, I'm gonna tell anybody, especially at work, If you are a high-level executive and you white, and you tell me, Kevin, that's not proper for you to say, I'm going to ask you, how many black people live in your neighborhood? How many black people besides the ones at work do you actually socialize with? I bet you it's minimal. So, oh, shit, you got a preference too. I live in my neighborhood because it's safer. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Right? I wish I had the ability to live amongst my people and it be a safe environment. More often than not, if I'm in a community where we dominate, it's dangerous in a motherfucker. I got to keep my head on the swivel, as they say. So people lie to themselves all the time. I think it's natural to have a prejudice for something. Like you, birds of a feather flock together, man. Everything ain't for everybody. You can't expect everybody to get along and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's like, that's wishful thinking, but it's not going to happen. You have the right to commiserate with the people who you identify with. You ain't supposed to force your way up into no circle. I'm going to make these motherfuckers like me. That's how you get your ass whooped or sent off. On some, what was you doing? I was trying to get fit in. Mm-hmm. That's what your ass get. That's exactly what your ass get. So, yeah, but I don't need to carry that. I don't need to wear the t-shirt that say that. I don't need to come in, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to, fuck all you crackers. I'm making it hard on myself, you know? And that's why you shouldn't, a rule of thumb is you really shouldn't ever really discuss politics on the job. I mean, especially if you in a place where everybody has access to the conversation. If you got a partner who you chop it up with, he'll come by your little station or whatever. Y'all go on lunch and y'all can talk politics. But talking about politics and religion on the job will get you labeled. And pretty soon you're going to be like, how the fuck they going to lay me off? Or you noticing that you getting written up every goddamn day for little shit. Because somebody somewhere heard you and said, I'm going to teach his ass. Right? So.
Oh, no, this was personal between me. We was on the phone.
Oh, I thought you said you was at work.
No, I mean, motherfucker called me early this morning, like, hey, I need you to go down. And I was like, okay, send me the address. And then when I got there, I called him, said, I'm here. And then shit, I told him, like, hey, I'd rather, be around my own type of people.
You just started the job. Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, but
that makes no sense.
That's how I felt, though.
Yeah, you one of them black people. I keep it real. And they do too. They keep it real too. They get that letter. They say, no, you really fired. No, I'm not joking. I'm keeping it real with you. Why create a fire where you don't need to, right? Like, live in that space as long as you can. Earn as much as you can. Advance as much as you can. When you get in a position where you're powerful enough to say something like that, then say it. But I guess my point is, I'm not giving you no more fuel than you already got against me anyways when I come through the door. Because a great deal of them think you are what your boy Charlie Kirk used to call it, a DEI hire in the first place. Who's this fucking guy? It's a DEI hire. Fucking hire. What did they do? Go to the ghetto to hire people? So a lot of times you gotta keep your weapons. Yeah, because they automatically, especially now, because that's the mantra of the day. If you black and you got a job, you a DEI hire. Like, oh my God, all the hoods in the building, they have their little jokes. It's cool because I be having mine too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna say them out loud. On the way home from work, I might have somebody who I talk to. Now you will run into this kind of person too. You think you done told them something in some confidence, and they'll go say that shit to somebody else, and all of a sudden you getting called in like, so Bill's telling me you guys had a conversation and you said you prefer to work with your own. You're like, Bill, I told you that shit in confidence. Well, I didn't know. Fuck, Dion. I mean, shit. You can tell I've been around a lot of white people, right? Orlando Owens in the chat room. He said, family, what to do, Orlando? Earl Henning said, think it doesn't put you in the bullshit. I think anytime a black man, I worked for St. Charles. I can say their name now. I don't work for them no more. I work for St. Charles, and one of their prerequisites is that if you had a degree, you could move up fast. So you get in the program, pretty soon you're gonna be the manager. You can move up. You can move up. You can move up. And when I got there, I had a bachelor's degree. It was my part-time job, and so I helped start a program, put a lot into it. And so naturally I started getting interviews for different positions, but they never gave me a management position. Right. And so I seen one of my coworkers Not only did they give him a management position, but they paid for him to go to school to get his bachelor's degree because that was the requirement. So I'm sitting there like, wait a motherfucking minute. How you gonna pass me? And after I got turned down for like 2 management positions, maybe 3 in a row. So at that point, I just withdrew and was like, I'm not going to apply for nothing else. I'm just going to find me another job. The word spread throughout the management that I was a bitter employee and that I was angry. Ain't nobody talked to me. Ain't nobody heard me say nothing. I just got really efficient at my job, went about my business. So when it did come time for them to move me up, I finally the director, the president came in. I was doing a didactic group with a group of boys. It was like life skills or something. And she was so impressed by it that she was like, well, like, how am I just now noticing, like, seeing you? And who are you? And they're like, everybody like, he been here for years. She's like, oh my God, you've been here? She was lying. When I got into my interview, because they then flipped it. I don't know if they thought I was going to sue or what. They offered me a management position. But what she told me in the interview was, all I heard after I spoke to some people is that you were an angry employee, that you were bitter towards the agency because you never got moved up because you got turned down for some positions. So I knew she wasn't lying. My point is, they will spread some shit about you just because they think. He never smiles. He never talks to anyone. Everybody's sitting around having fun at the Christmas party, and Dion's sitting there and just kind of quiet. And I talk, what's wrong, Dion? They will spread some shit about you, and once again, your time on top will be short like leprechauns. So you got to be careful what you say. I had a question, and Ruben's in the chat room. Ruben, I wanted to know more on this 15-year-old young sister who was murdered. Now, is it true that there were 2 on the same block? I wanted to know if there's any real connection between these 2 murders. What's going on over there in this neighborhood? I don't know. I didn't get a chance to read both of them. I just seen that 15-year-old girl was murdered, and I didn't know if they were trying to insinuate that there was some gang things going on here with these murders. Once again, as Politicks, the politicians will tell you that the city is safer. And he killed me, and I'm going back and forth, but the mayor killed me when he gave his speech, and he said, children can now cross the street again. Mothers can now walk their children across the street again. It's safe for kids to go out and play again. I'm like, what city do this dude live in? Like, what are you talking about? So I wanted to know more on the 15-year. If anybody has any information on the 15-year-old, please let me know. Also, I thought this was dope too. We were talking about belief and Christianity on the show the other night, and that was a good show too. That was a good conversation. I found out that I guess the rapture was supposed to have been Tuesday. I don't know if y'all know what the rapture is. Right.
Yeah, I heard something about that shit too. It's supposed to be some type of rapture and shit.
I didn't know that was supposed to be the end of the world.
There's always some.
I was not prepared. I wasn't prepared. So the rapture is supposedly when God comes back to earth and save people off to heaven and sends the sinners to hell. So, or leave them here and they're doomed to hell. This is the way it goes in the Bible in terms of revelations. I'm not a man of the cloth. This is what I grew up on. This is what I was taught over and over when I was growing up. And they would say when the rapture comes, like you as a child, if you haven't done the right things, you're going to wake up and your mom and your dad will be gone. Like you're going to go to the graveyard and see the people who were saved coming up out the ground, going up with God, right? So this shit scared the shit out of me when I was little, right? So, I would wake up in the morning, and if the house was quiet, right? Or like if I don't see like my parents, like maybe they're in the basement or in the back, I don't know, I'm losing my shit. Like, oh no, this is it. And they left me here. Like I'm going to hell. So I imagine how many young children went through this, man. And they would take us, like they would, Vacation Bible School would take you. We're going to take a trip, and you go to some big, huge white church, and well, it's like their building, and they show you the scariest movies you've ever seen in your life, Kamar. I'm talking about.
Hey, I read when I was in prison. It was a book series, called Left Behind.
Okay.
and it was a Christian type book, but that's what it was about. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like everybody, you reading the book, everybody living their lives. You know how the book introduce you to the different characters, the different people in the book and stuff. And I think the daughter may have went away to college or something. She was off at college. The father was on a flight somewhere, and you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, bunch of people was gone. Their clothes was left, cars was crashing, and all kind of shit was happening because people was disappearing out their cars and everything. This shit was crazy, man. And to think like if that really happened, you know what I mean? Like all that shit would really happen.
Now think if you're an 8 or 9-year-old kid and you're
Yeah,
hearing
you really believe them stories.
and then when you see the movie,
yeah,
when they would show us these movies, I would be like, oh, like that's how it's going. The mark of the beast. If you don't take the mark of the beast, you can't eat. They won't let you give no money. It's like, whoa.
They did make a movie out of that book too.
There's so many movies about that.
They did make a movie out of that book too.
Yeah, they would show these movies, man. I'm telling you, man. And I'd be looking around like, yo, it's Vacation Bible School. Why are we y'all could have showed us a different movie, right? Because then they tell you, yo, if you lie or if you cheat or if you did something wrong, you know, you're going to hell, right? So like every night, dude, I swear, I'm just being honest. I would pray like, please don't let the world end tomorrow because I lied today. Like that's how I used to pray as a kid. I'm like, I'm going to hell, man. I mean, lies I done told this week. It's like, it scared the heck out of me. It just took my dad straightened my head out on it because people would be saying, hey, we living in the last days. Hey, the world finna end pretty soon. Hey, man, you know, it's going to be this month. And he told me one time, he said, they say all of the stuff that's in the Bible, but it also says no man actually knows when it's going to happen.
Right.
No man knows. So if anytime a man tell you it's going to be next Wednesday, you know for sure it's not going to be next Wednesday because no man knows.
But didn't the Bible say it'll be fire and shit?
This time. Yeah, this time he's going to come and burn it up. Last time he used the flood. This time it will be fire. And so, you know.
I don't believe none of that shit.
I'm not, be careful what you say. Once again, I'm not, and I'm not really even here to see if everybody believe it. I'm really not. I'm just saying, as a kid, it scared the shit out of me. And they said that it was supposed to be Tuesday. So there was a bunch of people who were preparing for this. Was it Tuesday or was it Wednesday? It's in a rapture. I was like, yo.
They should have killed themselves.
Huh?
They should have went ahead and killed themselves. They thought it was. I mean, I didn't even hear. I just heard that shit on the radio. I mean, not even radio. I seen it online like the rapture. My people be tripping and shit. Be thinking the world is something.
They should have killed themselves. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Why would they kill themselves?
Because if they thought the rapture was coming, then they might as well go ahead and just push the envelope.
Why? When the same book also says that if you repent for your sins, you'll be forgiven.
A lot of people kill themselves when they believe in the book.
That's not what I'm saying. People kill themselves for a myriad of reasons. It could be anything from depression to drugs to stress. That's not really biblical. It's not like somebody saying, God finna come back tomorrow. Forget it. Because suicide itself is a sin, an unforgivable one. I believe that along with blasphemy. So
that's what they say.
Right. God damn, what is that, man? What is somebody firing?
But we not.
Is that your fire alarm? Your smoke alarm going off? What is that?
We're not 100% sure that it is a sin, though.
Once again, I don't want to go into what you believe in. This ain't that. If you believe it, you do. If you don't, you don't. I was just relaying my experience with the rapture and Revelations. Because if you went to a black church, I grew up in the Baptist church, they scared the bejesus out of you when you were little. And I think that their method was, well, we want to make you do good, right? So they scared us. They scared us to death. And then on the end of all that, they told us, well, suffer the little children for they shall see God. So I think that means children are going to go to heaven anyways because they don't know no better. So I'm like, well, why y'all had me scared? Why y'all had me?
That's what they tell you, though. They be like, saying the little kids, you know, I guess the Gentiles, you know, like all that just to me, I don't know, man. You know, we'll never know. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, even like, I look at it like this. When it all comes to an end, when the day I no longer open my eyes and breathe, I just want to know how did everything come about. You feel what I'm saying?
No.
Because two reasons why I have a hard time, just struggling with it. For one, because I feel like the same as the guy CK and DT and all them white supremacists and white nationalists, they pray to the same God that we supposedly pray to. I don't know.
Do
know
they?
What I'm saying?
Do they though?
I don't know.
You don't know.
What I'm saying?
I don't think they do.
And then another thing is just so hard for me to believe that this entity always existed and didn't need nothing to survive, and one day just said, "I'm going to create the heaven, the earth," and you know what I'm saying? Like that to me is just, it's hard for me to believe.
It shows.
You feel what I'm saying?
It shows that your understanding of this whole concept is so limited because you said one day he just said, "I'm gonna create the heavens and the earth." If you understand what heaven is supposed to be, which is the rest of the universe, the galaxy, this wasn't created all on the same day. This wasn't an overnight thing. Even in the Bible, it says it took him 7 days to make the earth, right? Like, and this is the most powerful.
That's what it says.
Right. So it wasn't just, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna make a planet today. There's other planets. There's each star you see in the sky is supposed to be a sun, because the sun is a star. So if you just base your understanding of life,
that's what they say, though.
That's what they say.
We don't know because
you don't know either way. You don't know if it is or you don't know if it ain't. So it's for you. It's for you to ponder the possibilities. What I tell people all the time: get you an understanding and stay in it, instead of just being all over the place and not knowing nothing or not believing in nothing or not hoping or aspiring for anything. Find something that resonates with you. Find something. If you don't believe this, like you don't believe this version of it, hey man, go out there and find something, because I think you have to believe in something. As a human, you have to believe in something. I think it's part of what motivates us to keep going. So if you don't believe necessarily what I'm saying, we don't have to debate about it. Just go get your own understanding. People have debates about this shit way too much. Like we don't even. That's something we don't even need to debate.
No, we're not debating. I'm just telling you my point of view of things. You telling me yours. I feel like the only reason that people even give accreditation to things like that because we have no understanding of where we came from. So to believe in something that we have no proof exists gives us accreditation on why we're here. Because if you talk to a simple-minded person, they think Adam and Eve was the mother and father of all creation. And then I asked them, well, if God created Adam and he created Eve, that's just like me going to have a baby by another woman. And then I got both of my kids got two different moms. They brother and sister. So wasn't Adam and Eve brother and sister? They'd be like, oh, no, God created Adam as her helpmate, or however they say it. But they got the same father. So why are they not brother and sister? And then I tell people, well, if Adam and Eve were only the two, and then Adam and Eve begot Cain and Abel, and then Cain killed Abel, where did Cain's wife come from? See, though, when you ask questions like that, people really have no explanation for it.
They do have an explanation. They do. I'm gonna tell you why. This once again, thank God for my father, because I would say stuff like that to him, and he would say, "Your first mistake is believing that things were then how they are now, or that there was the same set of beliefs and culture and the same set of norms then as there is now. Your second mistake is believing that these people, that you could understand their behavior in any shape, form, or fashion. You have literally no concept of what things were like then. And so you're modernizing it and saying, that was your brother, or that was your wife, or who knows? You can't speak on this because you have no context about it. So once again, it's one of those things where either you believe it or you don't. And the Bible is a book of parables. And a lot of people want to take it literally for everything it says, specifically to the nines. A lot of it is metaphorical antidotes to teach you a lesson. So you could take what you want. Like some people say, life came from the fertile river Crescent Valley. Well, don't we say that? All life came from Africa. That's where it came from. The first man and the first sister came from there. And if that's what you believe, if that's what you hold on to, there are people who said we evolved from gorillas. You see what I'm saying? The theories vary. You shouldn't get your draws in a bunch because somebody don't believe something the same way you do. Allow them that. That might be their peace, man. That might be their comfort zone. I'm not here to fuck your day up. Who am I to say, see, I'm going to show you why your shit's fake. Like, who gave you that job?
I'm not here to fuck your day up.
It's your job to walk around fucking people understanding up.
You need to come out with all type of shit. Dude, say, who fucked your day up?
I'm just saying, who told you, Dion, I want you to go in there and I want you to destroy people's understanding.
But see, this is another thing, though, too, right? This is why, it'd be contradictory. Because if you're a believer, then you believe that before breath was in our body, our life was preordained and is going to be played out. So when a young child gets killed or get murdered, that was already meant to happen, regardless however they died. You feel what I'm saying? Regardless if they died through murder, through illness, or whatever. They were going to die because that was their intent to die before they was even born. You feel what I'm saying?
It wasn't their intent. It was their destiny. Intent would mean
it was their destiny.
Right.
Yeah, it was their destiny. You feel what I'm saying? I told that lady that shit one day when we was in Georgia. And that's when COVID was real thick. And I said, shit, all the people that died with COVID, if they didn't die from COVID, they was going to die from something else because it was meant for them to die anyway. You feel what I'm saying? So people, they get razzled with that. That's why a lot of times on the show, when you be like, oh, man, the people, I'm like, they going to die anyway. That's how they was going to die. Every day we pass our death date, we just ain't lived it yet. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, who's arguing with that? Nobody argues with that. Everybody got a date. Humans are not built biologically. We're not built to last forever. Who argues with that?
I know that.
So the day when it dies, the day when your heart finally say, that's it. You don't know that date. If you are a believer, you assume that the man upstairs knew the date. But the one thing about it is when you gone, you gone. So it ain't gonna be
you gone.
It ain't gonna be like, hey kid, wake up. Was this really the date? Because ain't nobody really ever, people say, I died and I seen the light. I never knew nobody who was dead for 6 to 8 months and then came back like, man, that shit was crazy, kid. Let me tell you exactly. I seen your mama, dog. She told me, we don't even know what's going to happen when we leave here.
But they say, now this is another thing, though. They say Jesus died and rose from the dead. So you telling me that Jesus died and spiritually he rose, and then he rise in the flesh? And the Bible says the flesh. So Jesus is the only man walking around in heaven with his earthly body, and everybody else is a spirit. You feel what I'm saying?
Once again, the Bible is a book of parables, and it's also thousands of years old, and it's been reprinted and interpreted by multiple people. You gotta see, the whole point is, the point ain't about whether he walk around in heaven with a Kango on, or sometimes he come down and go get a hot dog. Oh, I forgot you ain't supposed to eat hot dogs no more. The point is, the point is the supreme being sacrificed his own son as because they used to do sacrifices so the gods would forgive them for their sins. The ancient Aztecs, all these people. So he made the ultimate sacrifice because he sacrificed his son. That's how much he loved you. That is just something to make you say he must have really loved us. That's kind of like what you have to believe. God loves you and you should love him back. So you got to understand why some of the stories are told the way that they are. But you can't really walk around saying, show me a nigga who got up and walked out the tomb and went up in the air. Like, yeah, if you holding out for that, like I think you taking it too literal. Like, you can't go back and live under the laws that the people in the Bible lived under in the Old Testament. That's why when people always give me biblical quotes, I say, is that the Old Testament or the New Testament? Because whatever you did in the Old Testament was forgiven by the floods. We're supposed to be talking about New Testament. So context is everything. Once again, these variables get so spread out and so convoluted, you end up really having to sit and listen at everybody's personal theory about this thing. And I don't got time for that. So I just say, God bless you if that's the way you feel. Like, man, hey, go ahead, man. I'm not telling you, shame on you. You're going to burn in hell. You believe what you believe, man. I'm just glad you believe in something. That's really where I'm at most of the time. Instead of I don't like atheists. Those are probably the only people who bother me. That say there's nothing. Like, so you don't believe in nothing? Nothing? So and then they try to be what we was talking about the other night about being self-righteous. Then they try to have jokes for you and shit like, oh, I forgot your made-up God. It's like, yo, I used to watch Bill Maher, man. That used to be my guy. I used to love the sarcasm and the political information on his show. And then the humor, the jokes, the atheist humor just got too much for me. I'm like, bro, I'm cool. I stopped watching it. I tried to start watching it again, but here he come. You don't gotta talk down on my beliefs because you don't agree. That's just the type of person I am. Or else you could do that, but I'm gonna remove myself. I won't be around you. They say you won't have me to kick around no more. So shout out to everybody who believe in something. I ain't here to tell you who it is, what the name of it is, what you do in the morning, what kind of sacrifices you make towards it. Stay on that. Believe that. I think somebody said this on the show a couple weeks ago. I think it was Kamar who said, I don't really care what you believe if it's doing good by you. If it's helping you thrive, go get it, buddy. If I see you and I know you was all the way lost, and all of a sudden I say, man, you doing good, man. You done straightened up. And he say, yeah, Kev, I'm a Buddhist now. I'm going to say, hey, man, congratulations, brother, because you was out here tripping. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. I don't care what you believe in.
Not really. Like,
just show me you a better man.
Thank you. That's it. That's it. If the teachings that Jesus was the one for your salvation didn't work and you found Allah, and now I see you on some straight up and down, I'm going to say, hey, man, it must be something to that. Like, it's just, I guess that's just, I'm naturally not a hater, right? Because I don't hate on people when they find something or when they're doing well. I don't be the dude in the corner like, dude think he tough. Dude getting a little money, he make me sick. Unless the person is showing their ass, and I'm like, yeah, that's all right. Your ass will be back. Keep clowning. And y'all get somebody. What's the deal with the Tylenol and the autism? Anybody got any information on they've linked? This might be something that the MAGAs are saying. This might be a Trump pushed agenda that they found a link that Tylenol causes autism. They've been trying to find what causes autism in children for years. And at first they were saying that it was some of the vaccinations that we were taking. I remember that. That's kind of like why I didn't give my kids all of their shots. I think they got measles, mumps, and rubella, but we didn't do all of the other stuff because there was a link. What we thought there was, it's been, I guess, debunked since. But I don't know if people really know. We don't have an understanding of genes and DNA enough to me to say what causes autism. But I seen conversations about the Tylenol. I thought somebody might have known what this link was, and is there any merit to it? I keep hearing people say it's ridiculous. Because I've taken Tylenol my whole life. My kids took children's Tylenol. We grew up taking Bayer, aspirin, Tylenol. You had a headache or some of your parents gave you these pills. And most of autism came around later on. I feel like it's something that we start to see later on.
Motherfuckers been had autism. They just call them retarded.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's true too. I found a very interesting, I guess it was a commercial. I keep saying I'm gonna upload it. It's from the 80s. And it was talking about being retarded. And I'm telling you, it shows you how sensitive people are now. Back this commercial is talking about saying this word for word, like if you're retarded, it's okay. We used to live in a world where retarded people couldn't do this and couldn't do that. Now retarded people matter. Like I'm gonna play this on the show, y'all. I should have had it loaded up because it was ridiculous. I put it in the People's News Network, and I also shared it with a bunch of people who was like, dude, they really used to play this on TV. I'm like, yeah. I might have it. I might can find it here in my let me see if I can find this right quick. It's the most insensitive thing you've ever heard.
It's not insensitive because shit, that's what they was known as back then. Like we used to call homosexual sissies and faggots. They call motherfuckers retarded. You know what I'm saying? People just got mad about the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just like I was like a clip with the heat of the night, and and Carol O'Connor and the black dude Virgil Tibbs, they was talking. The dude was like, she was like, she 18, and Archie Bunker was like, she retarded.
Yeah, with the young girl.
Yeah, he got him some nana.
Yeah,
he got him some nana, and she was retarded.
He said, you had sex with such and such and such. He said, she's 18, and then he said she's retarded. Yeah, I did see that.
Man, them were good old days. I don't give a fuck with nobody. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Sometimes I can understand the nostalgic, because I hate a lot of this shit. Like, I see boys at school wearing eyelashes and weave. You're not a boy. I mean, you're not a girl. You're a boy. You know what I'm saying? Like how Dwayne Wade accepted his child. People trying to slander Ghostface because he don't want to fuck with his son. Like, you can love your son from a distance. Your son like to take it up the butt. I don't want you to come in my house with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I love you from a distance.
Check this out. I'm about to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. This is hilarious, y'all. Now let me know if y'all can hear this. Oh man, come on. Okay, hold on. I got the video up. Y'all can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me make sure. This shit's hilarious, Kamar. Check this. Hold on, I want to rewind it. Oh man, this is so funny. It's not funny because it's making fun of people, but just to think about how sensitive we once were.
We can't see it.
You can't see it?
Well, we see the screen change, but we can't hear nothing. Or ain't nothing.
I thought you could hear it. I thought you could hear
it.
Okay. I may have to download it. Cause this shit right here is just.
I heard it though.
You can hear it.
That shit crazy.
You can hear it. Okay, yeah. It's just many, man. It is. I'm gonna get it downloaded so you can hear it, Kamar, because it's like, whoa, people used to talk like that. And it was nobody made a big deal out of it. He said being retarded is.
No, it wasn't a big deal. That's what they were known as. Retarded.
Like,
I know people that got nigger on their birth certificate. Like, mine say Negro. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe people will say African American, but this girl that I know that was born in Lexington, Mississippi, she got nigger on her. And when she told me that, I died laughing. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, they called you a nigger. She didn't think it was funny, but it was funny to me.
I just remember my mom, when we would see somebody who couldn't hear, she said that person was deaf and dumb. That's what she would say. He deaf and dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? I never understood the dumb part. Like, why you got to be? I guess it's because how they talk, but people didn't know any better. So, hey, before I look, it's 9:44, so we ain't gonna beat the dead horse tonight. I think the point was made about the Politicks and the politicians. But y'all know who's winning right now, right? Y'all know who's winning.
Oh,
old rappers are winning. Oh man, they putting out albums. The albums are selling. They're selling out arenas. They going on tours. I'm talking about Raekwon, Ghostface, Mobb Deep got an album. E40 ain't never stopped. E40 ain't never stopped releasing music. Ice Cube just released another album to go with his last one, which was Man Up. Now this one is Man Down. There's a whole docket of. Kwame just made an album, right?
Oh no,
LL made an album. If you're a hip hop head like me, I'm a hip hop. Y'all say what y'all want. I'm a hip hop snob. That's my music. That's why I only said when young people telling me that I'm too old for the shit, right? But the young rappers right now are spinning in place because it's the same thing over and over and over. And these OGs is coming out selling units now. They done figured out the streaming game. Somebody done showed them how to utilize social media. And it's good that lyricism is back, that is popular, because I also watched some footage of some youngsters, and understandably so. this person was asking them about old school artists compared to new school artists. Some of their answers surprised me, but it didn't surprise me because I know they know nothing about the classic shit. But it was just like people saying like Young Thug was better than Rakim, and like kids was like, and I get it. They're young. They don't, Rakim was probably that Eric B and Rakim came out probably 20 years before some of them was born, right? 30 years before they were born. But in most genres of music, the young artists go back and research the classic artists. Like you don't have a new blues singer that don't know all the old school blues shit. Rock singers now, if you say, who is your favorite? They'll go back, I love Led Zeppelin and AC/DC. I don't know why hip hop is so different.
Well, that's what our generation did that. That's how we started sampling and all that.
Exactly.
We reached back and we looked back at what they was doing with the music. You know what I'm saying? And used it.
Right. Some of my favorite songs that I listen to now came because I went and researched what the sample was on a hip hop song that I loved. I do this all the time. And I send people music and they be like, where you find that shit at? I find it in the liner notes. I go and look up a song. What was that sample? And then I go find the sample. And if it's doper or as dope as that song, it's one of my favorites. So I do it all the time, man. Last night I was sending them out. I sent Earl some stuff last night. Because Earl is OG and I figure Earl would understand that music. I send Ewok stuff. We talk about music all the time.
Damn, bro, you ain't send me nothing.
I didn't know you was into that shit. I didn't know you ain't never
expressed.
I don't
know. It depends. Like, yeah, you right. I respect that.
No, I
like Ghetto Boys though.
No, I'm a funk. I love funk music, man. I don't from the 70s funk and 70s R&B and soul. That's my shit. So sometimes it might be a little heavy for you. Like, I ain't never heard this Cameo song in my life. Where the fuck can I find this from?
I don't fuck. I like blues. I love blues. I love blues. Nigga, you can put some BB King, some Muddy Waters, Bobby Blue. Ooh, man, boy.
No, I mean, I grew up on the blues, so I was already pretty familiar with that. Blues. My daddy was a blues guy. My uncles was blues guys, but my parents was older, so they wasn't really as on funk like Parliament and stuff like that. That's my music that I went back and found, but it came from hip hop. It came from listening to rap songs, saying, "Man, that beat is something else. Where did shit come from?" It's like when we interview Tweed Cadillac from the Penthouse Players. He was so impressed that I knew that Rolling in the Pimp Lane was an Ohio Player song called "Who's She Cool." And we spoke after the show, and he was just like, "Man, how do you know some of this shit?" He's like, "I made this song and I didn't know where the sample came from." I'm like, hey man, you got to do your research, man. But I'm happy old rappers are man. I'm happy, man, because these brothers laid the groundwork and they had bad record deals. A lot of these dudes was working at Walmart, doing bad, and I'm glad that they figured. And then come on, after 30 years, I guess you get, no matter what you signed, you get all the rights to your shit back. Now that's the law that they passed.
Yeah.
So these dudes, man, can go on tour. What's them girls' name? Supersonic, JJ Fad. They was nurses and CNAs and all this. Man, they touring. They ain't stopped touring. They all over the world now doing Supersonic. And it's like, I take that. 30 years later, I take that.
My favorite word, bitch. Now you got to say it like short.
I don't really know what the point of that was, but okay. I guess.
I don't know.
Right. It's just,
hey, but you know what, though? Listen, I'm getting my shit together. I bought me a new van. So I'm about to put some sounds.
How many vans do you have? God damn.
I got two vans. I got two vans, a pickup, and a Geo Track. I've been trying to find. I want me a short booty 9.8 so bad, or a big body 9.8. Oh my God, with the skirts on it.
I'm only laughing because I remember when you initially told a story about the Geo Tracks, and you said,
"Oh yeah, me and my guy was up in this two fat ass niggas. Yeah, he can't ride in there with me no more. I don't want him in my car."
He didn't drop him off because their arms was.
Yeah, our arms was rubbing and shit. Yeah, I ain't like that.
That was some funny shit, man. I can see that in my head. You ever? Because I'm a big dude too, right? But you ever pull up at the light and you see somebody in a little car that's real big, and you be like, "Oh no, man, that car's too little for you." And then, but at least they got a car. Okay,
Yeah,
before
you
we
gotta do what
go,
you gotta do.
before we go, so the news of the weekend. I'm talking hip hop now. Cardi B, with her new album, and I guess it's the fastest album to go platinum by a female ever, and people are saying this album is so good. And I think Cardi B is talented. I don't have anything, critical to say about her or whatever. I think as an entertainer, she is, fairly accomplished. But I just think it's the example. I think it's the example that our little girls, our sisters, this is why as fathers we got to be there for our daughters. Her example of the whole thing of she was a stripper and she became just this phenomenal superstar is a great story of overcoming and getting out of a bad situation and spinning it and turning it into a positive. But then when you get into a situation where you have kids, you're married, you get a divorce, before the ink is dry on the divorce, you already pregnant by another dude who
That's
has
sad.
3 other women pregnant at the same time, or at least 1 or 2. This is her personal life, so I'm not here because I don't know that lady, and I'm not here to speak on her personal business. I'm just saying the optics of it, of just jump out there and have a baby by somebody. We talked about this on the show. We talked about what happens with the black family, because a lot of us don't even really relish or cherish the power of sex. Sex is meant to reproduce. It's cool to practice, right? That's but the purpose of it is to reproduce. But it's commoditized now. We live in a very overly sexualized society, and for these kids, man, coming up, I'm glad that I was able to go at my own pace, right? And I feel like these kids are being robbed of that in a lot of instances because they're gonna watch the video, they're gonna see her songs are playing on the radio. And I just feel like it does our young sisters a disservice to a certain degree, unless they have positive women around them or strong women that can say, no, that's not really what you want to do. It's not. And she might be dealing with life how she dealt with it, but I just don't think she's a good example and people might say, who cares, Kev? I do. Because it's a lot of male rappers that are horrible examples for our youngsters. And at the end of the day, they are trying to emulate this behavior, right? And so, I haven't heard anything. Once again, I'm an old school hip hop dude. I haven't heard anything from her album. The remake of the Jay-Z Imaginary Players didn't really do it for me. I don't think that's one of them rap songs you shouldn't really remake. But Jay-Z did it with Me and My Girlfriend. So I guess anything is anything. I feel like, wow, back in the days, biting or doing somebody else's shit was like a sin. Like, you ain't supposed to do that. But I'm just worried about the example, because I see what's starting to happen to Meg Thee Stallion is, when's the last time you heard her name about anything regarding her talent now? It's waned. We've seen you twerk. We know you can twerk. We know this. And every time a camera's on you, what you do? You're going to turn around. We know that. But it's a little passe now. Well, I mean, and then I listen to her music, and the quality in her music has shifted, because every song is eat this, lick that, give me your money. I got your man. He paid my rent. Yeah, eat this, lick it, eat it. Eat, like, oh, I'm so good. My head's so good. Like, it's okay. Okay. That's cool. Because it's like with Too Short. As much as I love Too Short, right? And Too Short has made some of the craziest misogynistic songs ever. But Too Short has also made some socially conscious songs. The Ghetto is one of the best rap songs ever made, and he's talking about some real shit on there. That matter of fact, that album had a bunch of different songs on there that were socially conscious. City of Dope. These kinds of songs where it's really telling you, hey, yo, life is too short. He had the ability to know, they know I can talk shit, but let me make a little sense sometimes. And those are like the greatest artists to me. So if you're an artist and your whole catalog is just dysfunctional, I don't value your contribution as much. I know a lot of people might, but I don't know. I just want to get my 2 cents on it.
Too Short used to actually dedicate a whole side of his tape. Like, one side would be the bitches and hoes and shit, and the other side would be somewhat positive. If you go back and look.
And there was a lot of messages in what he was saying. Like,
that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? You know, he used to drop some dimes, drop some game on one of them sides for real.
I can't wait to be subbing some of that old shit.
Well, I don't.
I'm 50 something.
A lot of. So this is my thing too. I got this thing with female rappers, and I know a lot of other brothers do too. Because rarely do you see a brother riding around with 15s or 18s or 20s, and he's playing a female rapper. Right, like I don't see. I've never pulled up next to the light of a brother who was beating and it was Megan Thee Stallion, right?
Yeah,
or Nicki
with some glow,
Minaj.
though.
And I like Nicki Minaj's lyrics. I thought she was one of the better ones, but you won't see me pull up at the light with Nicki playing. Like not because I think it's a natural thing, right? Because most of what she's gonna talk about is feminine. It's just like a lot of these young rappers, I can't listen to them because they're too young. They ain't really talking about shit. They're not telling me anything I don't know. It's nothing that I haven't seen. So I'm like, why would I listen to this?
I could think of 2 female songs that motherfucker would listen to back in the day.
Boss
one of them was The Lady of Rage. I rock rough and stuff with my app. Hey, that one. And the other one. Boss,
right? Deep.
Niggas used to bump the shit out of that.
Deep.
You know?
And I interviewed the Conscious Daughter, the sister that's left from Conscious Daughters. I used to bump some of their shit too, because they had some. She's So Tight was my song. It was on the soundtrack. I think it was a Boss Ballin' soundtrack. Y'all, I'm too deep on this hip hop shit for y'all, and so that was my song. I didn't care. That song was dope as shit, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be, hey, Kamar, you hear that new Cardi yet? You're gonna be like, what? Hell, I hear no goddamn new. I don't know if your girl is playing it, so maybe you have heard it. I don't know. And I guess it's good for women to have something to aspire to. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm just happy the old rappers are back doing what they need to do. Because I wanted to go back to pure instruments though, Kamar. I wanted to go because it seemed like it was more creative when people actually played instruments. That's what I get the most when I listen to that funk from the 70s and the R&B from the 80s. Instruments. You say, listen at that bass line. That's actually somebody playing the bass. Listen at the breakdown. That's actually somebody playing the piano. Like it's, listen at the drummer. He's playing the shit out them drums. I like that more than just syncopated beat machine in the background. And it's my ear. They say I got some old. Who told me that one time? Kev, you got some old nigga ears.
The type of bands where you could tell the lead singer is really leading the band.
Yeah, he's singing lyrics.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The band.
Oh man,
the band know when to drop it down low. The band know when the bridge come and how to hit it. And
well, you talking my language. That's why you would catch me sitting in my garage listening to some Cameo from the 70s, boy. You'd be like, what is he listening to? Them instruments, the artistry, the creativeness, the whole. That's why I love Parliament so much, because Parliament is all over the place at the same time, but they're on the one. That's what James Brown said when he created funk music, is everything got to be on the one. And you got to hear Boosie Collins talking about how he taught him how to be on the one. And so he took and taught George Clinton how to make it on the one. So that's some old nigga shit, though. Come on, hit us with some OG shit, man.
All right. Real OGs know. Sometimes in order to stack funds, you got to sacrifice some fun. Now, let me put that in the words of one of my old homeboy, Jay Billa. He's a rapper, right? And a producer. But he put it like this. Now, I done took it all along. I just want you to know where I got it from, right? My man said we might miss a couple events, but we stacking more than we would have spent.
Okay. I like that one.
So, in order to stack funds, sometimes you got to sacrifice some fun.
Real OG shit. Real OG shit.
Stop me.
Shout out to everybody who tuned in. Shout out to everybody who called in, who tried to call in. Share the show. Hit the Cash App. It's all love over here. You don't have to agree with me. I keep telling people that my show ain't based on who agrees with me. It's based on who wants to think and analyze and engage in critical thinking and problem solving. That's the reason why we do it. So peace and love to all y'all. Shout out to you, Dion. As usual, man. You're always welcome. I will see y'all Monday, man. Y'all be safe and keep your head on the swivel.
Be safe. Love, bro.